Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Monoxide Podcast. I'm your host, Harris, a.k.a. Monoxide, man of many automotive aspirations. And I'm here with my co-host, Mr. Gunna Garage, Mr. Dan.
Yep, that's me. Hello, how's it going?
I like it.
Yeah?
That's going to be your t-shirt in the future. Yep, that's me. That's the rewind. And today we're going beyond the meat with Adam King Kong Smith. I have to. That's how I have to announce you. The man who is DTF.
That's true.
Co-founder of Crown Rally, man of many fun having. I don't know how to describe it because you just do so much rambunctious things. That's that personality of yours. But nonetheless, I think I've known you a handful of years. We did our photo shoot last year in front of Valley Fair.
That was sick.
That was
the only
cool.
photos I have in my car, by the way.
Is it actually?
Yeah.
Like with the current wrap, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. So for those of you who don't know, Dan, not Dan, maybe one day, Adam has a twin turbo Viper. Gen 3.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Because did they make a convertible for Gen 4? I don't think they did.
They did.
Did they?
Yeah.
Okay. What's the difference?
It looks exactly the same other than the hood.
Yeah. What's the difference in the hood between 3 and 4?
So the Gen 3 has like 7 little vents on each side, and the Gen 4 just has 3 gigantic vents.
Okay. Gotcha.
Like,
and
you can put coolant in the car without opening the hood. Like, the vents are huge.
Okay. How do you know? Have you done that?
I think so, yeah.
Well, sweet, dude. Well, let's just kind of get into... Why don't you tell us a little bit about the car first? We'll get into your Crown Rally Pass and whatever else from there. But tell us a little bit about your car history. Viper and anything beforehand, I suppose.
All right. Well, I've had a lot of shit boxes.
Okay.
Most are not worth mentioning. I did have a 97 Subaru Legacy Outback wagon in forest green with a roof rack.
That one's worth mentioning?
Yeah.
Sorry, I had to.
I bought a JDM EJ205 from Japan, like the front half of a car. Went through like Japan Domestic Motor and shipped the front half of the car to Canada for some reason. This was the easiest way to do it. And then they pulled the like drivetrain from the front half of the car and shipped it to me. And so, yeah, I had a turbo lesbian Outback.
Oh, cool. All right, no, it got cooler. All right.
And it was fun. It was a great winter car.
Yeah.
Some winter tires. It ripped in the snow, yeah.
I'm sorry, that's the best way to describe it. That one's... I did not, okay,
It was like full lesbian. It didn't even have leather. It had heated cloth.
They went on a marketing campaign to lesbians for those vehicles. It was nuts.
And I bought one.
Yeah.
It worked.
Yeah.
All right, coming in hot. I love it.
All right, so that was notable, I think.
Yeah.
It was.
Good. I had a Saturn Sky Redline, the like Kappa cars, Opel GT. I love those cars so much. They're like one of the most underrated cars ever, in my opinion.
Why is it underrated?
They have an incredible chassis. The Solstice won like some SCCA class in 2006. They're super fun to drive, short wheelbase, very like squirrely cars.
Oh, okay.
They handle incredibly. The interior's like fine. It's like good enough. And I don't know. There's just like a lot of creature comforts for a tiny little like GM Miata. So I had that. It had like an exhaust and a tune, made like 300 wheel. It was a fun little car.
For a little car, that's a lot of horsepower.
Yeah. At the time, I thought it was like fast as hell.
King shit, yeah.
Absolute king shit in Mankato, Minnesota. Except for the actual fast cars down there.
Yeah.
In Mankato, it probably was king shit, to be honest with you.
It was pretty quick.
Yeah.
It did like no lift shift and stuff. So it was like pretty high tech for back in the day,
Yeah.
When you say back in the day, when was that?
This is like 2010.
Wow, that's back in the day, you boomer.
I'm sorry.
Just for reference, I think I was in 5th grade.
I wasn't, so
Nice.
don't worry.
I was in college still.
Okay.
I was in college for a really long time. It was very fun.
Like 8 years, 9 years?
Yeah, like I think 7.5.
Okay, well.
Yeah, they call those people doctors.
Yeah. Is that not your case, though?
No.
Okay. I'm having like a Van Wilder flashback here. It was like he just stays in college forever.
Yeah, that
party.
was pretty much
Yeah,
it.
all right.
See, we have our first fun GM guy.
Yeah,
No, I'm
right.
kidding. We had a nice
Nobody's
little...
ever called me a GM guy before.
I don't
You
think
rolled up
anybody
in a
will.
Cadillac, so
Oh, yeah, you did pull... Yeah, you
That's
did.
true.
yeah.
That is
Yeah.
GM.
The old hoopty.
Okay.
I love it though. The Escalade is like the best vehicle that exists. It makes no compromises. It's literally like, this is the worst handling vehicle that we can make. Like, we tried to make a handle worse. We can't. It's so comfortable, though. It's awesome.
Well, it's like a flying cloud. Like, that's really... What year's in?
It's a 07. It's
07.
old. Yeah.
I can't wait. Dude, do you think these CTS-V or whatever the Cadillac Vs are going to depreciate much, or do you think they're just going to hold value?
Like the Escalade Vs, all the Vs?
The new Vs, yeah. The new Escalade V.
I mean, if they depreciate by like a factor of 10, then I can afford one. So I hope that happens. But they're like $185K new. Yeah. They're insanely expensive.
That's nuts.
I got sitting one of my friends down there. He was like, oh, go check it out or whatever. Like me and Minneapolis Mopars, like we wanted to check it out.
Yeah.
And dude, like I've been into Wagoneers, the new Wagoneers. They have amazing interiors, but that V, get out of here. It's insane.
Yeah.
Yeah. Perfection. Like I did not think a car could be that bougie under a Rolls Royce. You know?
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
For real. That's like dream car status is newer Escalade. So like 10 years from now I'll probably have one of those.
I love the Durango Hellcats. Like Sean had one, right? And he would have got like a what's it called? The Escalade V if they weren't ridiculously expensive.
Yeah.
So you got to give Dodge props on that, keeping up until now their stuff under 100K for a while there.
Yep. Yeah, the Hellcat Durangos are sick. Mm-hmm. They're I don't know, people shit on the Dodge interiors, but like I think they're great.
I love the what's it called, the Charger and Challenger interiors, like especially when you start getting into like the Hellcat tier, like the upper, like the Alcantara leather.
Yeah, same. I was like fighting with people on Facebook the other day about this. People are like, "Oh yeah, the Mopars and their shitty interiors." Like, what are you even talking about, dude?
They're all still just having PTSD from the '90s. Interiors.
That's fair.
Yeah. And up to 2014. Right,
yeah.
with Dodge, 'cause, like...
So up until like the last 3 years, they've been real shitty.
So okay, you have a valid point there, but no, if you think that the Dodge interior isn't amazing, like you're just wrong.
Yeah.
So
agreed, dude. It has so many like. Maybe it's because I'm old, but it's like boomer classic car things in my girlfriend Nicole's Challenger. Uh-huh. Like the gauges look like the late 60s one, and they have like the weird letters or numbers you can't even read, and it's sick. And soft touch everywhere. It's so comfy. Yeah.
Well, especially especially if you go throughout the years and you upgrade from Uconnect 3 to 4, like that's game changing. Like every iteration of Uconnect has been amazing, and
yeah,
I really can't think of any other manufacturer out there that has a better infotainment system.
Factory infotainment.
Yeah.
Agreed. So I upgraded Nicole's. Hers is a 2015 Challenger RT with the Uconnect 5, the like rental car spec with like buttons. It's fucking disgusting. And I bought a radio or an infotainment unit out of a 2018 Charger RT that had like the Uconnect 8.4. They started coming with CarPlay and Android Auto in 2017. So I was like, how hard can this be? I'll just, plug it in. It's going to work, right? So then it needed like a USB 3 media hub. So I upgraded that, got Android Auto working, and then now it's like the VIN is wrong, so it won't update. So now Android Auto doesn't work anymore. So big sad. But when it did work, it was awesome.
Here's a question. I might be wrong on this. If I'm remembering this correctly, did you get your car through AJ?
Yeah.
Okay, you did. Okay, I just want to make sure. Okay.
This is like before AJ's garage.
Yeah.
This is March 2013. Mm-hmm. And it was really crazy because I was, I decided on a Gen 3 Viper convertible. I really wanted the 06 coupe, but I couldn't afford it at the time because it's like another $20K back in 2013.
Why did you want the convertible Viper? Like, what was calling to you?
Well, I wanted the coupe, but it was too expensive. Mm-hmm. So, but I really wanted the Gen 3 and not a Gen 2. Mm-hmm. Gen 3 actually has brakes that work and, ABS and a chassis that's not quite so floppy. Mm-hmm. And it's a better driver's car on paper, right? I hadn't driven either at the time. I just, read things on the internet. So, so I went on Viper Alley. I signed up, and there's a guy like that was posting about maybe I'm selling my car. I can't remember exactly what the situation was. I think at the time you said, "Oh, it's too rough. My wife doesn't like it," or something.
Oh, that's a first.
Yeah, so I signed up so I could see where this guy was. Yeah, right. Yeah, nobody's ever thought a Viper rode too rough before. Alex Bellis's photos from being inside my car will show you that's not a good camera car. And so I DM'd this guy and I was like, hey, I'm like in the market for a Gen 3 Viper. Where are you at? And he's like, oh, I'm in Minnetonka, Minnesota. Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh, I'm also in Minnetonka, Minnesota. What the fuck?
That's
crazy. It's like a nationwide thing, the forum. And so we met up. It was like March, snow on the ground. And I went there in winter boots. And if you ever driven a Viper with the pedal box as tight as it is, size 12 boots do not work very well.
No.
So I test drove it very awkwardly, but it was glorious. It was the funnest thing I'd ever driven. I don't think I got it above 2,000 RPM. I was terrified. And yeah, I bought it and remains the most wild car ever.
It's so amazing. I got to drive AJ's ACR across the parking lot. I had to
Sick.
take my shoes off. I couldn't because I had the Nike Blazers, right? Yeah. And like I'm a size 10.5, you know, for anybody that's building out my Wikipedia page. But like, I was like, I had to take these off, so I threw them, you know, in the passenger seat or something. I was like, all right, cool. And even then, it's such a really tight tunnel.
Yeah, it's crazy. And you don't really notice like how weird the proportions of the Viper are. Like until you see, if you look at a specific angle, you can see that the gas pedal is like aligned with the middle of the steering wheel, and you're not even like fucking pointed exactly the right way.
Yeah, it's like out to the left, I
Yeah.
think, right? Yeah, I remember that now. Okay.
Because the bell housing for the trans is so huge, and it's like right there. It's very strange. Yeah, very cramped pedal box.
Yeah, no, I think I would still have a lot of fun driving it, which obviously you have. You and I are pretty much the same size here.
Yeah.
For anybody out that's building my Wikipedia page, 230 pounds, 6'4".
I'm only 185, man.
Holy shit, really?
Yeah, wait, nothing. There's not a muscle on me, man.
Well, I don't know if I would chalk it all up to muscle here, but especially if I go over to NutriShop and get my scan, I'll be like, wow. But holy shit. Okay, I'm going to be thinking about that all day now. 50-pound difference, dude.
That's actually crazy. That's crazy.
It's okay. It's not all usable. Some of it's usable. But, okay, so then you got the car, and that was right around what year?
With the Viper.
Yeah.
2013.
2013?
Yes.
Okay.
It was bone stock.
Okay. And it's red, right, underneath?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Small
it's
penis
basically...
Can I say that? Sorry.
Yeah, no.
No, don't worry.
Yeah,
We had this
that's
show
pretty PG, actually. You're good.
Good.
We have the show rated R. Don't
Yeah.
worry.
Excellent.
I'll be sure. Yeah, you know what? On YouTube, when you upload, it says not for kids.
Yep.
We checked that box the first 2 minutes in. We're good.
All right.
It's Cam, not monetized yet. It's not a problem yet.
So is it a manual?
Yes, they
Yeah.
all are.
Okay. Are
In
they?
fact,
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't
Dodge
know.
never made an automatic Viper.
Really?
Yep.
Yep, and that's part of the reason why maybe they didn't sell as well.
Yeah,
but at
absolutely.
the same time, it's a bit of a cult following. And realistically, up until Nth Moto, I don't think anybody else really nailed down the auto.
No. I mean, Calvo did great. And continues to do great things with the sequential.
Yes.
And he's done some auto cars that I know of, but
The General, I've heard of that one being like their auto
Yep.
car, but we haven't seen it in years.
yeah.
So,
That
What
thing,
do they throw in? Another Dodge Trans from something else, or do you know?
I think they're all just TH400s
Okay.
with or without lockup, I think. I don't know that for sure.
I don't know. We'll find out whenever we get Aaron on the podcast.
Yeah. Yes. That would be a good one.
At some point, we're looking to make that happen, but obviously, just coming back from Texas 2K, it's like, everybody get away from me.
Now's not the right time.
Everybody's tired.
I feel like I double my brain cell count every time I talk to Aaron. He knows everything about
Yeah.
Vipers. It is incredible.
I don't know if you like, so we're both into Viper forums here. Him because
Yep.
he has a Viper, and me because I shoot every single one on the planet. But some guy in there asked like, "Oh, what are the specs on Crate?" Like he wanted like in-depth like,
saw that.
details, and then everybody
saw
was just
that.
clowning him, and then Aaron comments like, "Yeah, here are the specs." Like I don't care.
Yeah.
And then I don't know.
You're
if
not
you
going to be able to reproduce what Kratos can do.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's exactly. It's like, and then I don't know if you saw my comment after that, but my comment was, yeah, a lot of people watch Bruce Lee movies.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean they can do a spinning back kick.
Yeah, for real.
So it's like, yeah, he's Bruce Lee. It's all good.
Yeah,
But,
pretty much. Bruce Lee Vipers.
Yeah. So then Crown started, I want to say, in 2015.
Technically,
Officially?
2013 unofficially, and then 2014 officially.
Okay.
So we did like a friends run in 2013. That was actually one of the motivations for buying the Viper. Is I needed a car that other people thought was cool to lend legitimacy to Crown Rally, or Central Crown at the time, because we were doing just that one run. And so Justin bought a 07 911 C2S, and I bought the Viper.
Okay. Oh, did he have the same idea as well? Like, let's build some legitimacy?
Yeah.
Or okay, gotcha.
Plus, he really wanted a 911, and so this is a good excuse.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Yeah, I remember seeing videos like, who was it? Was Swen a part of that cruise early on? Or no?
Not 2013, but 2014, yes.
Okay, because I remember I've seen some of the videos from like all that, and I don't know what it is, by the way. Like, I grew up during that period. Like, I remember that video quality wasn't that bad. But when these videos show up in my feed
They
again,
look
it's
ancient.
yeah, it's like, what's going on? Are they compressing this stuff on purpose the older it gets? Like, there's no way it looked that rough.
Yeah, for real. Well, Facebook and quality have not really gone hand in hand forever.
Oh yeah, I suppose like if you uploaded back then, they didn't really have a high quality.
480.
144p, dude.
Yeah, exactly.
Just ridiculous.
Exactly.
So then, okay, so both you guys got that car. You guys put on kind of like, was that more like a local kind of cruise?
Oh, absolutely. Well, we did go to Chicago.
Okay.
For our very first, like, I can't even say it's the inaugural run because like 2014 is like when we actually did a real inaugural run. But so like if you can picture, it's my Viper, Justin's 911. We're in the IKEA parking lot with my phone playing a YouTube video on how to apply vinyl as we're like trying to stick vinyl to like these cars. And there was a Mercury Milan there with us. I think I rented a Lincoln MKZ as well. We had a total of like 12 cars coming. Okay. And it was just like a friends thing to see if this idea was even fun or even worked, right? And so, yeah, we all did the run to Chicago. We went to the WIT, I think, rooftop, or I can't even recall. Some rooftop. You just put everything on my credit card and partied, and it was really fun.
Okay, so this works out. Check. All right.
Yeah. So hey, maybe we should actually like become incorporated and actually do this.
Okay, so this was before an LLC. It was even an idea.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've done the credit card thing before. That was kind of like the saying for Whiplash was put it on Amex.
Yeah.
I'm still paying it off.
Yeah, that was us for the first 3 years too.
Yeah. Yeah. No. Yeah. Because like, and we can go into kind of the growth of it afterwards. Because like I remember hearing stories like it took years to get to a point of where it was profitable. But
yeah,
where did the idea come from? Were you guys just kind of like trying? Like, was this your guys' brainchild, or is this like, oh, we see Gold Rush, we see whoever was around at the time?
So this is kind of hilarious because Justin and I have done software together for like or we used to do software projects together fairly regularly. And so we kept in touch. I've known him since like 2003 down in Mankato. Whoa. So like a really long time. Yeah.
I was 4.
What's that? Yeah, you were 4. Yeah. I was 18. Yeah.
I like to throw it out there every once in a while. Just remind people.
I cannot believe, we have such an age gap. That's insane.
Dude, I'm closer to you. I've been to Mankato, hung out at Boomtown, and
oh yeah,
yeah. I knew that'd get you going.
Awesome. I have stories.
Yeah, I'm sure. So do I.
But no, like regarding the beginnings, so Justin called me out of the blue one day, and he's like, "Hey, do you want to do a road rally?" And I was like, "I don't know what the fuck that is." And he's like, "Well, we drive places, and then we like party." I was like, "Well, I like both of those things, so like let's talk about it, sure." And it was completely Justin's idea. And then the more we like got into it, the more we realized like this could be a thing that other people also want to do. And it's maybe less about just driving on roads and going to a hotel. It's more like doing things with a group and like building a community.
Well, yeah, then you start adding in track days and then various other activities along the way. So it's like it just kept getting better. Like my first crown and only crown was, I want to say 2018, crown 8.
Nice.
That was going to tail
Dragon Run. Yeah.
And I think, was that the first year that you weren't officially like involved but kind of were? Or no?
I still was at that point.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think, didn't they like saran wrap your car that year?
So much stuff. So many things have happened on so many rallies that it's really tough for me to like remember which one things happened.
What's the craziest thing that people have done to you or your car on a rally?
There's been so many things. So many like absolutely horrendous bumper stickers that are so offensive. But like, you got me thinking. I can't remember if this was Crown Rally South 2017 or 2018, but we were like on a rooftop with like a pool for like the after party, and I don't know. I had had a bunch of drinks, and Connor and I were like in the hotel room getting ready, and something occurred, and I accidentally set off the fire alarm for the building, which evacuated like 4 floors of the building and blocked entry to the rooftop. and I've like basically told nobody about this, by the way, but I have no idea why I'm telling you this right now.
You get 3 cuts. It's fine.
Good. I hope I'm like past the statute of limitations at this hotel by now. Yeah. But like, yeah, people were like getting evacuated from the hotel, and I think I like vaped into a smoke detector or something absolutely idiotic, and like all the doors like released their magnetic things and shut, and it was. That was the worst thing ever.
So you're just watching everybody just run out of the hotel.
Yeah, so Connor and I were like, holy fuck. And so we're like, we need to get to the rooftop and just pretend we're normal people. So we start going up the stairs, and then like everybody is like flying down the like emergency stairs or whatever. Uh-huh. And then we were like, and we turned around and just started going down with everybody. So
like, oh my God. Yeah. It's crazy. I wonder where the fire is.
Just some idiot that co-owns the rally that we're on.
Oh yeah, because like it's a bunch of ralliers too, just going down.
Yeah,
it's like sorry. Oh my god, that's ridiculous.
It was so bad, dude.
I remember hearing a story of you guys had a hotline at one point too.
Oh my god, are you talking about the one that Brad set up?
Was there 2?
There have been a lot of shenanigans. There was one that I probably shouldn't have called Brad out. I don't know if he wants everyone to know this, but somebody, I think it was Brad, made a bunch of bumper stickers that's like, how's my driving? Call 1-888-2-Justin or something. Mm-hmm. And it went to like an automated recording of, again, something completely idiotic, but apparently like a ton of people called that number.
We'll run it by him after the episode if he wants to be named. Otherwise, guess who's editing more tonight?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
No,
there's going to be a lot of editing.
That's not a horrible idea, because some people are like frustrated and want to do something, so they might call the cops or something. But if they have that number to like get their frustrations out, and then at the end of the rally you listen to all of them, I think that's not a bad idea. I think I really like it.
Imagine how that highlight reel would do today.
Yeah.
I mean, that would have been a really good idea had we had the ability for people to say something instead of it just playing some terrible recording at them. Yeah.
Yeah, it would have been great if it went to like a voice recorder or like an answering machine.
That would have been a really good idea.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we know what we're doing on Community this year.
Yep.
No, I don't think we're gonna try to keep everybody below a reasonable amount of speed on that one.
You'll still get Karens that are gonna be pissed though.
Oh yeah, no matter what.
Absolutely.
You should have like an answering service, and then like turn it into like a techno song or something. All the responses.
Yeah.
Just play various songs from SpongeBob.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm saying like use the feedback from the community to make a techno song.
Yeah. Okay, I'm lost now. What do you mean techno song?
This recording thing we're talking about.
Yeah, it can be like dubstep, and the drop will be like, "You're driving too fast."
Yeah.
Okay. Wait, maybe that's a terrible idea.
Before we get too far into the show, I wanted to take a moment to talk about Raise a Hood. If your daily driver is having issues, aka your beater you got off Craigslist, Raise a Hood's telemechanics and AI tools can help you diagnose and solve the issues you may be dealing with for a fraction of the cost. All you have to do is add your car to the Raise a Hood garage to get started. You can provide the AI tool, also known as Gus, with the specifics of the issues you're having, and it'll help you narrow down what the culprit is. It's a great way to bounce ideas off of to figure out what actually might be the problem. You could then select from a variety of solutions to explore the cost and difficulty of doing the repair yourself versus taking it to a shop. If your car doesn't have detailed solutions yet, that's totally fine. Just go ahead and add your car to the garage for free, and that'll let the Raise a Hood team know what to focus on as they continue to develop and grow. If you want to try out Gus or chat with a telemechanic, go to raiseahood.com and add your car to the garage to get started. Use code MONOXIDE-FREE for a 1-month free subscription, or Monoxide20 to save 20% on a 30-minute call with a telemechanic. Let's get back to the show. It'd be kind of cool. You see every once in a while. I love seeing like the TikTok remixes. Like there was somebody like turning a remix into some chick was like yodeling, and then they turn it into like some like electronic music, and it's like, oh my god, it's literally like perfect.
Yeah, I love stuff like that.
Yeah, it's wholesome.
Like 3 a.m. when you can't sleep and you're just watching like the most random shit on the internet. Yeah.
Man, especially like back in the day, you had to like look for it. Like now it's getting thrown at you.
Yeah, right.
But it's like if you go back to like 2010 to YouTube, it's like, all right, let's see what's, you have to boot up the modem and everything.
Yeah, you're like purposefully digging into the corners of the internet.
Yeah, that'll put you nice and easy to sleep.
Yeah, yeah, right.
Man, I'm trying to. So okay, what? Oh yeah, we kind of got lost. We kind of went down a Crown Rally route. So then, how did you end up twin turboing the Viper then? Because then you got it. It was what'd you say, 2013?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm keeping up with my dates today.
Yeah.
I'm trying.
Yeah, you're doing it.
And then what happens over the next few years? Because I think you twin turboed at what, like 2018, 17?
It was October of 2016 that we started tearing the car apart. And originally I was going to do it all myself. Originally it was going to be a supercharger and a stock motor. And then Matt McCarran, who has had like a million Vipers, he's like, well, I have this takeoff UGR, like big UGR kit. And he gave me a really good deal on that. So I was like, okay, well, I'll just run these big turbos with the stock motor and run like 4 pounds or something, right? But then it's like, well, we got to pull the motor anyway. Might as well put like pistons and rods in it. And it just kept snowballing.
Famous
honestly.
last words, by the way.
I've
Well, we
been
got to
down
pull
that
the
rabbit
motor
hole.
anyway.
Been down that route myself plenty of times. Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't supposed to be like this. And this is still like a mild build compared to some of the shit that Nth does. But originally the motor went to Performance Concepts. They, slapped some rods and pistons in it and did like minor kind of valve type stuff. And then it went to Hemi Auto Works in Wisconsin, Mitch's shop. And he did, because the frame had to be modified to fit the turbos. And that's like how UGR did them, is there's not a whole lot of room. There's no room in the engine bay at all. The engine bay is like 2 feet wide and the motor's exactly 2 feet wide, basically, So yeah, the frame had to be modified. So, and I suck at welding. So Mitch did that. We got the turbo kit in, got the motor back together. I did the fuel system, tried to make it run with an SCT tuner on the stock ECU, the stock ECU is a pile of garbage, by the way. It's like a 486 PC. It's so slow. It's incredibly old. And did you know the Viper runs like an SRT4 coil pack and like a Sebring coil pack? Yeah, to like spark all 10 spark plugs, there's like a 4-cylinder one and a 6-cylinder one just sitting next to each other.
Okay, that's news.
Yeah, absolute like parts bin stuff. So I replaced both of those to some like higher output ones, and did little stuff. Got the car running. Had trouble getting the tune all the way correct. The ECU did not want to be boosted, and so eventually, after like screwing with it for a year, sent it to Nth Moto and was like, Aaron, please unfuck everything. And so then it got a Motech. Then it started making real power, flex fuel, and all that.
Okay. Which Motech system is in there?
It's so the harness is from John Reed Racing, and it's a Motech M130.
Okay.
We went with the M130 because they had a plug and play for the Viper like kit ready to go. Would have been kind of nice to do the M150 and have a little like more ins and outs if I eventually want to go to like a coil on plug or like better setup. But for now it's good.
I think I want to say what is in AJ's Calvo currently. I want to say it's a 150.
He does all M150s basically. Yeah.
Calvo?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Calvo's such a good guy. Before I ever met him in person, I was having a hell of a time with my car, and I was trying to make I think Power Cruise or something. He shipped me a Gen 3 M150 before we had ever met in real life. Like he sent me like $20,000 of Motech stuff to put on my car and run an event, and then I just shipped it back to him.
That's cool.
What a dude. Yeah.
That's
holy
awesome.
crap. Yeah.
Well, okay, so how does that conversation even happen? Like, I mean, I'm sure it wasn't just like a text like at 3 a.m. in the morning, like, hey, babe, like.
You up? You got an extra M150? I don't know. He's probably just seeing me like slowly unraveling on the Viper group. Like, how do I get this done? I'd really trying to make this car work. And yeah, he messaged me.
Well, and it looks like it works, at least from what I've seen. I know you had some issues.
Yeah,
after
so that was only on for like a week.
Okay.
And then I have my own setup on,
right, yep.
That I actually paid for.
Yeah. So now you got so it's still on the M130 then,
It's
right?
on an M130,
okay.
yeah.
So then I might be getting stories confused here, but I think it was like after a Crown or whatever. Was that okay? Well, first of all, when did you send it to Aaron to unfuck it?
It went to Aaron, I think, in 2020.
Okay.
I tried really hard to make it work on the stock ECU.
Yeah, because I think you took it on a couple rallies with it on the stock ECU, right?
Yep.
Because I remember people telling me like, man, that idiot is anti-lagging at every other gas station.
Well, at that point, it didn't even have anti-lag. It was just not running right.
So at what point did you get anti-lag then?
With the Motech.
Okay.
once it came back from Nth Moto in like 2021 or
But did
late
you have
2020
2-step
maybe.
beforehand or no? Okay,
No,
so
stock
that's
ECU
good.
can't do it.
Oh yeah,
It
fair
can.
enough.
It
Yeah,
can't
yeah.
even run the engine, dude.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah.
Dude, like even bone stock, the Gen 3 has a returnless fuel rail, and the fuel pressures just swing wildly. Like it's like barely regulated. It's horrendous. I don't know how that car runs fine stock because it does. By the numbers, it doesn't look like it should. It's really bad.
It's okay. It's your dream car.
Yes, it's perfect, no flaws.
So then, when you had it sent over to Nth Moto, then did you also get like a power boost as well at that point too?
Yeah, so I never even had the car on the dyno because I was waiting to like get the drivability stuff all the way worked out, and
Right.
then hopefully turn my little eBay boost controller up a little bit once it's all working and not running 8-to-1 under load. But yeah, so I would estimate the car probably made like 800 wheel with a kind of crappy tune, not super drivable, but not horrible. I did drive it around and I didn't blow it up, so
That's a
whatever.
start.
Yeah, right. Yeah, and then came back from Nth. We put it on DB's dyno, and it made 1200.0 because the dyno didn't go higher for some reason. But it's turned down to like 1050 for. It's a stock 6060 trans still,
Okay.
which is like holding on for dear life at this point. It's not going to last much longer, I don't think.
I still remember you like after our photo shoot, like you just blew past me, like just just a quick little pull. I don't remember who my driver was that day for rollers, but they were just giggling. It's like, all right, that's fast, and I'm like, yeah, you should see the other cars that are 3 miles up the road from
Yeah,
here.
right. That make like over twice the power.
One of my favorite things was to do is like I would have people come like help me with like we did like this drone video sort of shoot with Minneapolis Mopar's car, and I threw one of my
Nice.
buddies into his car, and they did a hit, and
He got video of that, right? I think I saw that video.
I got a million different videos, but this is the one where the video is like him right in front of me. I blurred out the plate, of course,
Yep.
and then just zipping gone. Like,
Yeah.
And then my passenger was watching this unfold because like we know that it's our buddy in the passenger seat up there, like he's freaking out, and we're
Yeah.
just giggling at the thought of him just freaking out.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Dude, it's ridiculous. Like 1,000 horsepower cars are fast, no joke at all. But then when you start getting into like, oh, there's a 2 in front of it.
Yeah,
like-
right? I know.
Yeah.
I need to ride in one of those cars.
You
My
haven't
car's
yet?
still the fastest car I've ever been in.
Travis got a ride in that the Nth Moto car that I shot a few weeks ago because he was my driver for that.
Yeah.
He's like, I need to put a deposit right now.
Yep. I heard about that from him.
Yeah.
That sounds pretty life-changing.
Yeah, and like that's a, I don't want to say lower tier build, but a lower power build too out of there.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay.
Does the M130 still have good traction control, stuff like that
Yes.
too? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
It's all incredible. Yeah. It's the same thing as the M150, just with less I/O,
Okay.
Yeah.
basically. So, yeah, the traction control is insane.
That's what he was telling me, because he's telling me 2,000 horsepower. I'm like, that's not even usable. The car would just sit there and spin all the time, constantly.
Right.
But yeah,
No,
I
it's
guess.
so good. Like if you're driving and there's like a pavement like transition for a bridge or something, and you're just full out because you're an idiot like me, you can hear it cut like one cylinder once. It's like so fast.
Wow.
It's awesome.
Especially if you like are going to like Texas 2K, right? You can like listen to like when a car is having issues. Like I remember 2 years ago, like one of the cars was going up the track, and it's like right. Okay, so here's the deal. At Houston, they weren't gluing the whole track all the time. Like they would only go
Okay.
up half and then back, and then it's like, all right, we're good.
Okay.
So you would literally see cars like just break
Just
traction.
Start spinning. Yeah.
Yeah, like maybe like 100 feet from the beam or whatever, and it's
Yeah.
like I can tell you why.
Yeah.
Like
Right.
So yeah,
The
but you
prep
can,
ends.
but you could hear like the traction control from like their Motech systems just like trying to like cling on for dear life.
Yeah. Yeah. And mine's kind of like different from the Gen 5s in the fact that it's a mechanical throttle.
Okay.
So you can't in the Motech adjust the throttle percentage.
Oh, okay.
So it has to like work that much harder to, if you're like way off with your throttle, like if you just pin it everywhere like I do, then it has to, it'll pull timing, it'll pull boost, and then it does like cylinder deactivation to try to meet a power target so you don't spin the tires off.
What about your plate? We gotta talk about your plate.
Oh my God.
Because like especially after the story you dropped in my comment section the other day, who allowed that plate to happen? By the way, because your plate's DTF.
Yes. Yeah. So the story behind that is partially because it's true, and Partially just because I thought it'd be hilarious. This is like way back in like the Jersey Shore days. Okay, you were probably like -2 years old.
Okay.
But, I don't know. Like Pauly D was always DTF, and I thought that was just the most ridiculous thing that you could put on a plate. So I applied for it, not thinking that I would get it, and I did at least try though. I wrote, like they make you give a reason for your like custom plate, and I wrote that my dad worked for the Department of Treasury and Finance, which isn't even a thing, but
Okay.
and they just approved it.
Okay, so what you have to put usually 3 options. What was number 2 and number 3? Do you remember?
For that one, I don't even think I had other options.
Oh, you were like DTF or nothing.
I think it was just that.
Yeah.
And I just was like, here's your $100,
Yeah.
whatever.
Department of Treasury and Finance. Okay.
Yep. The official paperwork. So Minnesota was cracking down on like offensive license plates after I don't even want to say it, but there were some like pretty racist plates that they caught. So then they did like a sweep of all their plates. And I had a friend get my car impounded. And so then it was like, looked at the plate and they impounded my plate like separately. So I got the car back, but I couldn't get the plate back because they deemed it offensive, which I mean, kind of fair enough. So I went to the DMV and I just applied for it again and I just got it again.
Fucking idiots. Oh my God.
And now it's a collector plate. I have it on my collector plate and now they can't take it ever.
Oh wow.
Wait, what do you mean collect? Like, so like if you have a collector plate, they just can't take it out of the
You
system.
pay
anymore?
the registration twice and then you never have to pay it again.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
I'm sure they could like take it, but I don't have to like pay registration anymore on it.
That's right. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. What is it? Years is 2001?
3.
3. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So oh my God, it just turned 20.
If it were any color other than red, I could have gotten it in 2013 because they made less than 500 per color. Of
Okay.
every color except small penis red.
Okay, now that you bring it up, I really wonder how many racist plates are collector plates, right? Or offensive plates. Think about how many of them are. Because okay, first of all, think about the generation.
True.
They could probably still pull them. So what would probably happen in that instance, because you don't have to pay, what they could do is refuse your registration when you go to up it or whatever. But with the collector one, what you probably would get is a letter in the mail saying, hey, this isn't going to be valid anymore, just so you know. And then you could care or not care.
Stop giving them any ideas. You know the government ain't smart.
Yeah. And I know they're listening to this podcast.
Absolutely.
Yeah, especially old Elon after talking about electric cars on episode 61. Fucking nuked my computer.
So you have an Apple now, they can't even get into it, so don't worry.
Dude, you gotta give them props. They keep their shit on lock.
Just because nobody uses one.
Everybody uses one. I think they have like 10 or 20% market share. I saw this in a comment section.
Yeah, it's
yesterday.
something like that.
Some
Yeah, to
idiot
the
said
masses,
so.
but most guys that actually do computer stuff and network stuff don't use Mac.
It depends on where you're at.
Sure.
Most computer stuff is done in Silicon Valley. Guess what they use there? Mac. Okay, anyways, on to the...
I'm just a bystander at this point.
And the actual only like computer professional here.
Yes, and Adam, what do you see in your field? Fucking Windows!
There's a smattering of Apple, but it's mostly people using Windows, not liking Windows,
I've been
wanting to
Windows my
switch
whole
to
life.
Linux, but the corporate software doesn't run right on Linux, so we use Windows.
Okay,
Yeah.
fair enough. See? That's that's a valid statement.
But there are definitely some Apple devices.
Dude, I've been using Windows my entire life. Like, this is my first Mac, and like, okay, so I'm a part of that generation where we're the guinea pig. Like, the first year of anything getting implemented, whether it was MacBooks or whatever, like, I switched between Chromebooks and MacBooks, like, I want to say, like, every other year.
Really? Like, because the school system, like, we can do it cheaper. All we need to do is buy $80,000 of Chromebooks. And then the next year, we can do it cheaper. We only need to buy $78,000 of this Apple or something.
Because, like, when I was in elementary school, it was MacBooks. Then I switched to a different school district because we moved. And then
You had MacBooks in elementary school? Fuck, I'm old.
yeah, 4th grade, they gave us, like, a little tote or whatever. It was, like, fucking Generation 1 MacBooks. Like,
God, I don't even think laptops, like, existed when I was in elementary
No.
school.
I started off typing on a typewriter in typing class.
Yeah.
And then we finally got computers.
but it's like I was always like the first year of it, so like working out all the bugs. Like, whereas my brother, right, he's 5 years younger than me. His entire school, like, anything internet shut down. You couldn't be on your phone the whole day. Like, you couldn't log into on any sort of website. Whereas for me, it's like cool math for kids. Fuck yeah, like
Yeah.
yeah. Do you even? Oh, here's a question. Do you even know what that is, or is that too far past you?
So I'm in, like, the online learning market.
Okay.
Like, that's what I do for a day job. And no, I don't know what that is.
Coolmath
I
for
hope it's not a
kids.com.
product that I write code for.
No,
That'd be really awkward.
it's old school. It's like where we used to go to play like Bloons Tower Defense back in the day.
Okay,
like
okay.
that's where it was at initially.
Okay.
Like all those tower defense kind of games. But okay, whatever. We're getting sidetracked, but down memory lane. How the hell do we get on the
I don't
MacBooks?
know. Our computer games were Oregon Trail, and that was it.
Yeah.
Roller
I played
Coaster
Oregon
Tycoon.
Trail in school.
Yep, so did I.
Yeah.
Well, you're a big gamer too, right?
Yeah.
I think that's a good way of because like you do like LAN parties and stuff too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We
I
host Landsgiving every year in my house.
Yeah. What do you guys mostly play? Various
Usually
things?
shooters.
Shooters?
Yeah. Various things.
Yeah.
We play this game called Mount Your Friends.
Okay.
And
I've played that game before.
have you? It's a bunch of you control like each limb on a man.
Okay.
And
I like
you
how
try
that
to
sounds.
like mount the other men one at a time and
Okay.
like build a man tower.
Sure.
And it gets taller and harder as it goes on.
I hope you listen back to this, by the way.
No, it's like there's like swinging penises. It's like
Okay.
very strange, but
Okay.
anyway, that is always played. That's a staple.
Right. Okay.
Once at like 4 in the
CounterStrike
morning.
too, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'll play some CounterStrike. We do some PUBG custom games.
Oh yeah, I've seen that. Yeah.
I play a lot of PUBG, so that's really
Okay.
fun. A lot of Quake Champions as well. We're probably the only people playing that in the world.
Okay.
But yeah.
That used to be like hot shit, like early 2000s, right?
Yeah, like that was Quake 3, which I
Okay.
competed
Okay.
in. But yeah, that's all the same shit from Quake 3 on.
Okay.
Newer.
Only thing I ever competed in was CounterStrike, like CS:GO.
Yeah.
Like that was my thing. Like I worked my way up to DMG, and then I
Nice.
decided to focus on school like an idiot.
Yeah, it sounds terrible.
It was the dumbest choice ever, dude. Like things were going all right. I was making money off my Minecraft server. I was almost pro in CS:GO. Like I was like kind of like playing like whatever tournaments. I was like, man, if I just did that for 6 more months, I probably still would have ended up poor. Actually, now that I think about it, but
Yeah, it's like the top 0.001% make any money, and everybody else, even all the pros, like don't make shit.
well, now we're seeing that like in sim racing, like the purses are getting more and more. Like
Yeah.
the one that we saw at PRI, I think it was like a $200,000 or $300,000
Yeah, it
purse.
was 6 figures for sure.
Yeah. So
Oh,
it's-
yeah.
and then like CounterStrike, like during like the peak before they ruined it, man. You know how much money I gambled on betting games on CounterStrike?
Yeah, that was common.
Yeah,
It
dude.
is common.
That was so good. I was an OG online gambling addict. Let's just put it that way. But yeah, like they had $1 million purses, so I can't wait to see
Yeah.
that in the automotive world. You know, it's gonna be really cool with
Yeah.
sim racing.
Yeah, PUBG, their like annual global tournament is like $2+ million prize pool.
Oh wow, it's up to. I'm just curious, and I'm sure we'll get back on cars here in a second. But like, is PUBG still pretty hot then?
It's hotter than people think it is. Yeah,
Okay.
it's still like the third or fourth most played game on Steam like today.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, because didn't it kind of died off a little bit for a while there, right? Or
Well,
no?
it was like the record-breaking, amount of players,
True.
like 3.2 million concurrent players or something insane. Yeah, and it's fallen off. It's now like 500,000
Okay.
per 24 hours. But
Okay.
yeah, it's still up there. People still play.
Yeah,
Everybody's
that-
really good at it now.
That was like my last like new game I really gave a shit about before
Yeah.
like I got into because like my college dorm had garbage internet.
Yeah.
So I couldn't like I'd be playing like Rocket League and just lagging out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rocket League is so sensitive to internet.
Yeah. Of all. Yeah. Yeah.
Of all the games you wouldn't think would be.
Yeah.
Like if you have like 60 ping, Rocket League just shits its pants.
Yeah. Cars.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Wait.
Are you guys done nerding out now?
What
or
are we talking
Yeah.
about? All right.
I'm going to take a second to support the home team. Many of you know the podcast is based out of Ratified Motorsports, who makes some of the sickest builds out here. That dyno you all hear downstairs has seen some serious cars. Whether you're looking for a standard tune for your cute little Volkswagen to a full-on Supra or RS3 build, you should give Ratified a call to get the sauce. Check out ratifiedmotorsport.com/performance to see what they can do for you. Let's get back to the show. Okay, Dan, let's talk about what games you played on your typewriter then.
Yeah.
Snake.
Yeah, on the graphing calculator.
Oh yeah.
Throwbacks. Oh,
Yep.
man. Cars. Okay. Did you ever have any like really bad issues then with the Viper at any point, or basically once it was sorted out, it was sorted out?
Well, I mean, for the stock, it was fine. Although, before Turo was named Turo, it was called Relay Rides, and I made a horrendous mistake. Well, I don't know if it was a mistake, but I put it on Relay Rides, the Viper, so people could rent it. The first person that rented it, do you know Andy Armstrong?
Yeah, his name sounds familiar.
He's with Crown Family now.
Yeah, I know
works at 3M.
Yeah, I'm friends with him on Facebook. I just can't remember the face.
Yeah. So he was the first one.
Okay.
And it was such a good experience. He rented my car for his wedding, and with a DTF plate. And so some of his wedding shots have the DTF plate in them, which I think is hilarious.
Forever memories. Okay.
Forever. And yeah, he was just the nicest guy ever. And I think it was either the 2013 or 2014 rally. We had he rented my car weekend, he returned it. He was like, everything was great, fantastic. And then we ended up needing someone to drive the Viper on the first Crown rally. And so I was like, well, this guy that rented it, he's super cool. I'll just text him. And he's like, yeah, absolutely. So he came with us driving the Viper for his first rally and our first rally.
That's perfect.
Yeah, that was cool.
What about...
sorry.
Yeah.
I am getting to a point at some point.
Yeah.
The second and third people that rented the car, one blew up the clutch slave cylinder and the other one exploded the differential. And
how did you do that?
Honestly, I don't know. I didn't think you could be harder on it than I was. But apparently you can.
It's like Ace's R8. I think it was rented out and somebody fucked it up or whatever, I think, too. Maybe.
Rental cars live a hard life, man.
Dude, there's no car... it's like Jeremy Clarkson says. It's there's no car faster on the planet than a rental car.
It's true. It's true. Until you're pushing it out of an intersection with the guy that rented it still inside.
Oh, jeez.
What about the pullover story? Because that's what I was asking you earlier, and then somehow we got sidetracked. So
wait, real quick on this the rental stuff. Who's on the hook for that then?
Well, unless I took him to court, not Realize or Turo, they were just
really?
like, nah, fuck you. You can't prove it.
Shit.
I know, right? And at the time, my driving record was kind of bad, so they allowed me to rent my car, but not to drive any of the Turo cars. I couldn't rent anyone else's car.
Oh my god.
All right, here's a question. Why was your record so bad at the time?
Okay, well...
Every story starts like that.
Yeah. It was 2006. And I woke up a little bit late because I'd been out a little bit late for the night before Thanksgiving. Mm-hmm. And I had to go to Wisconsin to see my mom for Thanksgiving dinner. So it was a warm November. So I was like, maybe I'll just wear my winter jacket and I'll take my sport bike from Mankato to Milwaukee area.
Holy shit.
And then if I just go, an average of 140, I can get there in 3 hours and I won't be late, right? Perfect sense.
All this is checking out. This is all great ideas.
Yeah. So, so I take off and I'm wearing this giant puffy coat on a sport bike in the late November. And I'm going 165 or so. And, I see this police car up in the median with its lights on. And I've been cruising for quite some time. So I was like, okay, I'll slow down to 90, and then they'll pull me over, give me a ticket. We'll be on our way. So I pull over, they rush me at gunpoint and pull me off the bike, throw me in the ditch, face down, and I get handcuffed. And then car after car after car kept showing up cop cars. And so I was like, holy fuck, they think I'm someone else. That was my thought.
Yeah.
Right. And, then they were like, okay, well, we got you for felony fleeing and you're going directly to jail. And I was like, oh, fuck. So, yeah. So I got it dropped to a reckless, did 15 days in jail for that. But then that was on my record still. Mm-hmm. So at that time.
I'm assuming they went to go pull you over and you were already gone. You didn't know that they were piling up behind you. I'm assuming
right.
Is
Yeah.
what happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm old, so the cop cars were Crown Vics, right? And
yeah.
People are like, oh, I got the police interceptor. That fucking thing makes 200 horsepower.
Yeah.
They're not fast cars, right?
No.
So yeah, some cop saw me on an on-ramp while I flew past him and then floored it, and I just kept going because I had no idea.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
All right. Well, finish the story. You didn't make Thanksgiving dinner then?
Oh, yeah. So I called my mom from prison. No, it was actually Blue Earth County Jail in the felony wing. And it's Mom, I'm not going to make it. I went too fast and I'm in jail, but I'm fine. So, yeah. And so now, then for the next 10 fucking years, my family would be like, you better drive careful on your way to Thanksgiving every year. God, fine. 99 miles an hour is the limit.
Yeah. All right, so yeah, that'll do it.
Yeah.
I feel like we had another story of somebody going over state lines, just flying. Oh, who the hell was it? You were still podcast host. Somebody was saying like, oh yeah, once I got across the past Hudson, I was good to go.
Oh yeah, there was it when we had Jake on? They were talking about bikes and running and all that stuff, and I think somebody, maybe it wasn't him. Somebody stopped in Minnesota. If they were just crossing in Wisconsin, they would have been fine.
Just ridiculous.
They have no chase rules now or something on bikes.
Damn. I didn't even make it into Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you said Blue Earth County, that must have been a real. I'm picturing like a Barney Fife jail.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
All right.
I was in a cell with a guy that had stabbed his sister.
Oh.
And he, he's like, what are you in here for? And I was like, speeding. And he like laughed. He's like, no, I'm serious, man. And I was like, yep, so am I. And he looks at me, he goes, that's fucked up. It's like, yeah,
wow.
I agree.
I know that area very well. I was born in Elberly, lived in New Richland for
shit.
a while.
Okay.
My grandma worked at the Looney Bin Hospital in St. Peter
Yes.
there, and yeah.
I've been there for some reason.
Yeah?
Yeah. I don't-
not as a patient.
Not as a patient.
Okay.
Just, I don't know why I was there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Doing something weird at night.
They did the Men in Black flashed his memory. Like, all right, you weren't a patient
I've
here.
just been 5 years here. What? No.
Yeah, just like subtle flashes. Yeah, feels like a Marvel TV show. All right, and back. Crazy. Okay, so that's right. Okay, I lost the story for a second. We're back to it. Fourth attempt here. So the one that you commented about getting pulled over with your plate.
Oh yeah. So Nicole and I were going pretty fast. We were with a group of cars. We were doing like 170, maybe 175, and a 55 because it was out in the middle of nowhere.
Checks out.
Yeah, and we're fine. There's like nobody's like that close to us. It's not honestly like not that dangerous if everybody's going fast and people are decent drivers and there's no like regular traffic, right? And so then there's a car in the oncoming lane and it ended up being a police officer. So we were like, oops, so we slow down and he whips a U, he catches up to us, pulls us over, and he's walking up, and I'm pretty nervous at this point, right? Because we were doing 120 over, and he walks up and he's like, I can see him in the side view mirror and he's like giggling. And so I was like, I'm about to get bent over. Like something horrible is going to happen to me.
He's going to take that quite literally.
Yeah, I have the car off, key out, hands on the wheel, trying to look as white as possible. And he comes up to me and he's like, does your license plate mean what I think it means? And I was like, yes, sir. And he's like, how'd you get away with that? That's awesome. And he was like a super cool guy. He didn't even take my registration. He's like, hey, I know about the rally. I know what you guys do for charity. You need to slow the fuck down. I was like, yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm not going to jail today. Yes, sir. I'll do anything. And it was all right. Then we slowed down.
That's another thing that like your average person doesn't understand. Like, yeah, I might be going 120, but you gotta understand my car at 120 is way different than your Camry. Like it literally handles the road. It knows what it's doing. It's where it lives.
Yeah,
like,
I agree. As long as you're not in traffic, right? Like if you're upsetting other drivers, like if you're like weaving in and out and making people feel unsafe, like people with like 0 out of 10 driving skill, right? If you even pass them at more than like 1 mile an hour faster, they go, oh my God, and they drive into the ditch, right? Yeah. So like you have to be really careful about, regular traffic. But like, yeah, if there's like literally nobody on the road and it's a flat road, you can see forever.
Right.
Push it a little bit. I don't know.
Well, it's like for me, like I always used to use this example, like me doing a $110 in my Jeep Gladiator was way sketchier than me doing like even 150 in a GTR on like summer tires in winter. Like,
yeah.
That was sketchy. But even riding shotgun in a Viper, like, doing a $189, it's like I felt way more secure in there than, again, a Jeep Gladiator at 110. Like, that was the sketch. Taking a bend at 90 in a Jeep Gladiator, that was probably the dumbest thing I've ever done. Next to threading the needle with somebody else's Supra on a certain rally, but don't worry about it.
Yikes. Yikes.
Yeah, that would not have looked good.
Only safe passes.
Yeah, yeah. You know it's a bad pass when Tony Yo sticks his hand out the window like this. He's like,
Oh my god.
you know, if you can get that guy nervous, that you really fucked
You really
up.
fucked up. That is true. That is very true.
That was a fun time. It was me, Tony in the Porsche, and then the Chaz and his vet.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a fun little trio we had going on.
Jesus.
So, yeah, so many, dude. Rallies have some of the best stories, man.
I agree.
Yeah.
Some of the wildest shit I've ever seen. And some of the like best like friends and stories of, you know, people's cars breaking and then like against all odds people getting shit together enough to like get everyone to the finish line, you know. It's like it's not about ego or anything. It's just about helping each other. And some people need more help than others. Pat's Bel Air, you know, I think showed up at the end of Crown Rally 4 times on a trailer, on a flatbed, like a tow truck. But he made it, you know, and that's all that really matters.
Well, how about the Goblin, right?
That's actually the like story I was thinking of with Travis and Zach. And Travis was with somebody else one year, I thought, right? But I don't know.
Maybe.
That thing had issues on the first Crown Rally. It went on. Axle issues. But
Yeah.
you know, things came together and they were able to make it, so.
I want to say that was episode 44 or 45. So you got, dude,
Nice.
Travis had, you Viper guys are the best stories. You guys are so good at telling stories. Granted, again, Joe DeVito's episode was rowdy.
Yeah, I would say the Mustang guys are probably in the top, but that's fine.
I don't know.
Whatever you
Dodge and Viper guys so far. Or not Dodge, Ford and Viper guys.
Hell yeah.
Sorry.
Joe's awesome.
Yeah, no, yeah, I don't know. I don't think he's ever done a rally before.
No,
I know.
we're
He's
trying to
never
get
been
him
on
to-
anyone I've been
We're
on.
trying to get him to come on Community, remember?
Yeah, that's right.
Yep.
Yeah, I think we might be up to like 6 or 7 or 8 on North now.
Are y'all doing Community the weekend of Carmageddon?
What's the weekend on Carmageddon?
I think it's June 6th to the 9th.
Yeah, I think it might be.
Man.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing, dude. Like, planning. Oh, God, I told you we were going to talk about planning rallies, but I guess we will real quick. That's the tough part is, like, there's so many overlapping events. Like, you just can't. And then, like, you've done it. It's like
Yeah.
trying to figure out, all right, is the track available or the hotel's available? And it's
Right.
like, all right, now I have to avoid this stupid little local event. It's like, which, by the way, is a huge event, but nonetheless.
No, I understand.
Yeah. So,
It's
and-
just really tough.
yeah. Yeah. The one that I've always tried to avoid is Power Cruise, though.
Okay.
Yeah, there was somebody that had one on Power Cruise, and like nobody went on the rally. I can't
Is
remember
Power
what
Cruise
year
a
that
bigger
was.
event?
What's
than,
that?
Like, is
For
Power
our
Cruise
area
bigger?
here, it's pretty big.
I don't know. Power
I've been to Power Cruise. I don't know. It felt like the same size as Proving Grounds, at least back in the day.
I think it was different audiences too, though.
Yeah.
I think what's it called? Carmageddon, or what was it for that? Proving Grounds, yeah.
Yeah.
I think it had a little more of a rambunctious crowd too.
Yeah,
I've
that's
heard
definitely true.
I've
I've
heard
been
of-
to every one of them basically since 2013.
I've heard people getting like, you know, bottles split over their head and stuff like that too. Like,
Yeah, people died every event. That's not good.
not every event, wasn't?
Well, not every event, but like something horrendous happened like every event. Whether it was somebody's getting airlifted in a helicopter. Or, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I understand it had to change, but man, it was really fun though.
Well, it's like, what was it last year? Like the car that grinded the rail.
Yeah. Did you see my video on that?
I think so. Yeah.
I was like 2.5 feet away from that rail, and I see it coming, and I see him straighten out, point directly at the wall. So I'm like, oh, yes, video. And I don't back. Everybody else is like backing up, and I'm like just right there.
This is gonna be great.
Yeah, and after it went by, I was like, that was so dumb. Like, what am I even thinking? But the video is pretty cool, so it's worth it.
All right. Highlight. I can just picture you like wearing like a floral fanny pack, and then just
Yeah, that's basically it, you know.
nailed it. Yeah, no, when I saw that video, I was like, all right, that's crazy. One just, okay, here, you just brought a peak story back for me. I think this is like my 3rd photo shoot ever. Like, first time ever doing rollers. I think it might have been my 4th. And it was a blue Subaru or whatever. And the guy's like, oh, yeah, you know, like I go up and rally it or whatever. Like, I'm thinking like, oh, wow, this guy's got some skill.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, to be fair, he probably did. But like back then, I'm like, oh wow, this guy's like upper echelon driver. I didn't realize that, you know, this is like, you know, an hour and a half up north, like just like casual like rally sort of thing.
Sure.
So he's ripping it in like the dirt or whatever, the sand there, and like I'm like, keep getting it closer. And I shit you not, he was like 3 inches from taking my foot off when he was just drifting through the sand. And then like a few years go by, I'm like, oh my god, that could have ended really badly.
Yeah, right? I don't know. I don't have the survival instinct, I guess. It's all about the content.
dude. And it didn't. The photos didn't turn out of that angle anyway. So it's like that was stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah, no throwback.
You got like the front left quarter in the full frame. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a few really cool photos. Like some of my old photos on like that little janky. I wouldn't say janky, but meh camera.
Yeah.
Like some of them are like still one of my favorites to this day.
Yeah.
You know, and like now I got gear that's worth like 8 times more. It's like yikes.
Yeah. It's about the experience, though. You know.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So what about planning like the actual event of Crown? Like how involved were you on that front? Like as it grew, what parts were you involved in?
So up through like 2018, I was very involved with everything.
Mm-hmm.
And after that, I took a step back and went more on the like less of the like route planning business side, more of the like party talking side.
Mm-hmm.
But,
Schmoozing people, kind of.
yeah,
Or
kind
chatting.
of, yeah,
having
not
fun.
like not even like that. Just I don't know, I'm a fairly social dude. So
The social aspect. I get
Yeah,
it.
the
Like, yeah, the
social
party
aspect.
side.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, for sure. But yeah, event organization sucks, and I hate it.
Yeah, we'll see how many events I'm a part of in 2025. Like we'll see how the three like cuz I'm doing 2 rallies with community, like very involved with helping on that front. Like I
Sweet.
probably got 6 texts about hotels right now that I have to get back to, but and then I'm also doing the track day like with the performance driving school at Brainerd
Cool.
in May. So had another call about that yesterday. So it's like, man, like can I go back to just being the guy that participates and have fun, you know? It's
Yeah, man, I didn't actually do a Crown Rally until I think like 2017.
Yeah.
I actually like, you know, I was obviously still very involved, but it was like as the rally happens, I want to actually run the route for the first time during the rally. And it was so fun. It was way more fun than planning it.
Yeah.
Well, it's like for me, like I used to be able to ride shotgun, especially like when I did Whiplash, like that was completely on my own, no partner or whatever.
Yeah.
Like especially when my car broke down, which thanks Rad for fixing it. You know, they work on slow cars too. Shout out. But I was like, even though they fixed it, I'm like, I don't trust this car for like a 1,000-mile road trip. I'm like,
Sure.
fuck this, or 2,000, whatever it was. So like, you know, I just started car hopping on the rally. I was like in the Vet, in the Supra, and I'm like, all right, cool. And it's like I had a lot of fun doing it that way. But when I had a partner and we were riding in the Ford Flex, it's like, all right, I hope everybody's having fun.
Yep.
So like I totally get what you're saying. It's like you finally got to run it, because I used to run because like I canceled my North that year, and my ralliers were like, well, now we got a free weekend. What the fuck do we do? We just, you know, put the kids in daycare and all this stuff.
Yeah,
whatever.
right.
So one of my ralliers put together like a little thing called Lumberjack Rally. It's like 6 of us. We went to like, you know, a cabin on the lake, first time on like a boat that's not a ferry. Like
Nice.
that was cool. And like I was riding solo, and like I was driving my car so hard trying to keep up with his, you know, whatever 700 horsepower Mustang and then the 1,000 horsepower GT 500.
Yeah.
And they got me on the straights, but I would just dive bomb into the corners. So like coming out of the corner, they'd be like, I can't even see like his hood. Like
Yeah.
That twisty spot through the we were in like some swamp. We were in a row going in there. Yeah, it was like I had a little GTI glued to my rear bumper.
because like I've been rallying for years, but just not as like an official participant. So like
Yeah.
I had no co-pilot because I had no friends, and like I was like, cool, let's fucking send this. Like I was driving so hard, like especially my right side. If I would take a left too hard, like my bumper would just scrape, and I'd be rubbing tires, everything.
You might be too low if
Yeah.
you drag body panels because of lateral G's.
But then also like I hit a bump. I want to say at about $120, like really hard, and I turned on my windshield wipers.
Oh, that's very normal.
Yeah. Well, especially on Crown, like you guys know how to do it. Especially like just
Many of us have had 4 wheels in the air. In cars that are definitely not designed to do that.
yeah. I think I've done it 4 times now. I've been airborne. So
Yeah, it's probably about the same for me.
yeah, it's okay. Motech.
Yeah, it'll figure it out.
It'll figure it out when we land.
Absolutely no traction because no contact with pavement.
Yeah,
so,
0 cylinders fire, you're good.
Yeah.
What's the sketchiest thing you've done? Do you want to share, or should we glaze past this
Oh,
topic?
Jesus.
I mean, I think after that felony that he did at the hotel, we should be clear to go.
I don't know, man. I've done a lot of sketchy things.
What's the funnest thing you've done on a rally? Let's ignore sketchy.
So, okay, well, I have an answer for sketchy.
Okay.
I was trying to learn high chair wheelies on a motorcycle, which is where you like sit on the bars and your feet go like over the front tire.
Holy crap.
And then you like, because I used to like, I had a stunt bike and I used to like do wheelies and stuff. You know, I was like trying to get to the next level, right? And I'm geared way down, so I was like, well, it'll probably be smoother if I do it in third gear rather than like first or second. So, and that was like about 60 at like 12,000 RPM in third. And my first time, I just gave her the beans. Like I'm sitting on the front of the bike, right? It's going to need a ton of clutch and a lot of power to get the front wheel up, right? So I did that and basically just like ejected myself upwards. and yeah, it came down, hit my head on the pavement. I was wearing like full gear and a helmet, of course.
Okay, good.
Helmet like broke into bits, and I don't know. I woke up on the road a little bit later with a bunch of people standing over me, and some nurse that's like, "Hey, do you need an ambulance?" And I was like, "I don't know. You tell me." But I was okay.
Okay, that definitely prompts this next question. Have you broken your collarbone?
I have not.
Fucking A. Usually every bike guy I've talked to is like, yeah, I've broken my collarbone 17 times.
Yeah, no, I've been incredibly lucky. Just some concussions here and there.
We know.
Yeah, if it's not immediately obvious.
No, you don't have a stutter. You're good.
Good.
Me on the flip side, dude, you know what's the worst feeling in the world? Like, I don't know if you guys have had it. Well, you probably have because you're, my height. But like, I've dipped my head off of so many things in a gym. It's like I'll be like getting up from like the fly machine, just whack my head on the metal, and it's like, all right, I feel dizzy for a couple days.
Yeah, I'm pretty good about it, but it happens.
Well, it's like the lat pull down machine. Like sometimes they like swing around or whatever. So like I'll be getting up and just whack.
Oh yeah, I totally work out too.
Yeah, I was gonna say, me too, all the time at the gym.
Well, it's like I'm sure you've
that.
seen it though. Like, okay, the thing goes down.
Yeah, I have.
It's okay. Yeah, okay. Don't make me feel like an outsider. I started working out like 2 years ago, dude.
Yeah. You're better off for it. I'll get there someday.
We'll get there. I don't know.
What bikes do you ride?
So I had a bunch of Japanese 600s of various flavors. My stunt bike was a 05 ZX6R 636.
Okay.
I had a couple R1s. I then kind of like got out of stunt riding. I bought a ZX14 and then a ZX14R, the second gen. I've had a lot of bikes.
Yeah.
Mostly Kawasaki's and Yamahas, but
I'm a huge Yamaha fan, if you couldn't tell.
Hell yeah. Love it.
Yeah.
They make great stuff.
Oh, everything. My wife's snowmobile has an R1 engine in it.
Yeah, the Apex?
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
those are so sick.
Yep.
We just lost our southern audience. Snowmobile. What?
Hey, I might be able to take them out this weekend.
Yeah?
Yeah.
It's possible.
Yeah.
Let's wait until Sunday. Let me get caught up on what I got to do. Have you ever seen Jixerbra on like Instagram or YouTube or anything?
I think so, yeah.
It's a guy that did what's it called? The trip from Colorado Springs to Denver in like 20 minutes on a bike. Just go like 180 the whole time.
Yeah.
Does like he wheelies at 100 miles an hour switching lanes. Every once in a while I'll watch one of his videos and I'll just be like, not me. I'm not him.
I have a video somewhere of coming down from a stand-up wheelie, and I was doing like 160 or something. And I'm so old that I literally had like a metal gas like tank mount with a camcorder mounted to it, like a Super 8 camcorder, and that's how I had this, like old style.
Yeah,
that's how I have the video.
The big ones that have like the big like tube like to like, look through. Yeah. That's the nice thing is like sometimes I can relate to these things because like my parents were like 5 years behind everybody else because like they're new to the country and all that. So it's like, all right, cool, we'll catch up eventually. But what was your favorite route that you've done for a rally?
Oh man,
that's a tough one.
That is a really tough one because I helped like choose the route for the vast majority of the rallies that I've been on, so I think that all of them are really good. Probably the first Crown Rally South in 2017.
Was that the year you guys went to Nashville?
Yeah.
Okay.
That was probably my favorite route.
What was that? Chicago, Nashville to
Chicago, Indy, Nashville.
Oh, Chicago, Indy, Nashville.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That either that or the first Crown Rally West, where we went to the Bonneville Salt Flats for the first time. Cool. That was like a bunch of like canyon carving roads. It's between those two, I think.
What did you do on the Salt Flats?
So I have a YouTube video of the Motech working overtime, trying desperately to work on salt with our 888Rs. Which, pro tip, it doesn't. That's not the right tire to use. I could not go faster than like 157.
Really?
It was, yeah. I couldn't get in boost at all. It was like the middle of fourth gear, and I'm like counter steering the car and just trying really hard to keep it from spinning around. Because like it's all open and it's fine, but like also there's just a truck at the end of the run. I don't know why we had a truck at the end, but like all I could picture is just me spinning and just hitting that truck at 1 billion miles an hour. So yeah, I couldn't go faster than 157. So, you know, we got the car cleaned up after we were there, got on the highway, and then I just passed a farm truck and ripped on it a little bit and was doing 200. So I got my 200 out of the way. So now I'm fine.
Have you only done it once then?
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like once you've done it, it's like, all right, cool, we're done.
Yep. It was like conditions were so perfect too. You could see for 5 miles and it was like freshly paved. And this is before I realized that one of the control arms like wasn't really connected to the car also. So that was like scary in hindsight, but nothing happened. So it was fine. Aaron fixed that. I don't know. Nth Moto made a post about it. I don't know if you saw. The like factory weld was just completely off the part that held one of the control arms on. It's like they just welded it on a Friday while drinking a beer, and it just didn't even follow the like bracket. It was so bad.
We're talking about like 03 Dodge stuff. Like they did have some issues.
Well, they were all hand built, so if you build like a turbo kit for a Gen 3 Viper, it will not fit on another Gen 3 Viper because they're all a little different.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Like people think like handmade is a good thing. It's not a good thing.
I was gonna ask what your
Robots
thoughts
are
are.
better.
Yeah, it's like every GTR, both AMG and Nissan, they're all signed by whoever assembled it.
Yeah.
It's like then at least you know who to blame.
Like I hope you were in a good mood that day.
Yeah.
You know.
Whereas like the Viper, I'm not sure. Are they signed by whoever assembled it? I don't know if they are.
I don't think so. It's probably just a bunch of guys named Billy that all are just doing it
Fucking
together,
union.
You know? Yeah.
Yeah, the name is assigned to whatever booth that is being built in that day.
Yeah.
The Shelbys do that. The SVT and all that stuff's been doing that with the engines anyway. It says hand built with pride and has their signature on it.
Yeah.
Vipers, on the other hand,
Yeah.
not so much. It's like fucking gotta go home to my tuna casserole. Yeah, we passed by the factory or whatever in what was it, Michigan?
Yeah.
Empty because it was like during the strike or whatever.
Yeah.
So it was really weird to see that whole area just dead.
Yeah, I bet. That'd be sad. It would have been cool to tour like the Viper facility while they were making the cars. I know a bunch of the Viper owners have either like gotten an invite to go out there to like watch the car being assembled or
Like
you know.
Blake.
Yeah, exactly. That would have been really cool.
Yeah, a lot of those like especially like when they were doing a Gen 5 stuff, like it was just super cool. Like especially they had the whole group of like 7 people go over there, pick it up together.
Yeah.
Yeah. They had some really cool colors on those Gen 5s. Would you ever get a Gen 5? Or you're
Yeah,
happy?
I just drove Travis's
Okay.
last
Well, so much for swapping keys.
I still want to do that.
Yeah.
I really want to see Travis in my car because he is going to be terrified.
Yeah. On second thought, I'm going to get you a different host to ride with him.
But yeah, so I drove his car last week and I love it. It's great. It's much more refined than my car is. It's much easier to drive, like in every aspect. Like not just it's more sound deadened and the steering feels a little like less darty, but like the throttle is electronic. The shifter actually feels kind of like mine, but the clutch is really easy because it's an OE clutch, you know. And it's just, I don't know. It's a car that someone can just get in and drive.
Mm-hmm. Compared to yours, not so much.
Whereas, well, mine's not like, I don't know. I think it's fine, but it is like a Lighten flywheel and a twin disc, which is very, very grabby. So if you've driven a twin disc, like you'll be fine. But if you
Was it a
haven't,
McLeod or what do you have in there?
no, I have some sort of ceramic spec twin disc
Okay.
that was like kind of pieced together. It was kind of a weird situation. Because my car's kind of a Frankenstein, so it's like parts of multiple clutches. Thanks, Aaron. I would never have been able to do it myself.
Yeah.
All because I was too cheap to buy the nth clutch too, which I should have just done.
Yeah,
It's like $4,000.
Oh,
for
jeez.
clutch.
I want to ask you what you got into that build, but I don't know if we want to get there yet.
Well, you
If you want to.
you buy a $40,000 car and then you put like $100,000 into it, and then it's worth $40,000.
Yeah.
It's kind of
This is car build math for sure. Yeah.
Hashtag girl math.
yeah. It's one of those.
All
sort
while
of
telling your
situations.
wife or girlfriend that you only put $20,000 into it. Yeah.
Nah, Nicole knows.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I've got a few secrets that I'm gonna have to die with. Like I remember, like one of my friends was on here. And he's like, yeah, my wife is going to listen to this, so I can't tell you the price of, and then off camera, he's like, yeah, it's like quadruple that.
Nah, Nicole knows. She learned how to drive stick in that car.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah, I was at a work happy hour, and I was like, hey, I'm too drunk to drive. Can you pick me up? And we'll just leave my Viper here. And then so she gets there, and I was like, might as well come inside for a beer, So I give her a beer. And then I was like, what if we just didn't leave my car here and we left your car here? And she's like, are you serious? I'm like, yeah, let's go. So I taught her how to drive. She drove my drunk ass home. Now she's probably driven 1,000 miles in that car.
When was that?
Probably 2013.
2013.
So
okay.
pre-twins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
she's driven it with the turbo setup and current clutch and everything.
Oh, okay.
She can drive it just fine. Honestly, the biggest problem is I put a drop seat in the car because Vipers are American, but they're not meant for American-sized people. They're meant for like 5'8" people that are shaped like an egg. And
All
so,
right.
like, I
Dan,
don't really,
get in.
Yep. All right. I was thinking sweet. Wait for me.
So I don't really fit like in it that well. But with the drop seat, at least I can see out the windshield, which is great. Because I have a really long torso, so like I had to remove the like flip down whatever sun visor things, because then I couldn't see out the windshield. But yeah, it's like a 2-inch drop, so we have to like fold up a pillow so she can sit. But then like it doesn't go forward far enough either. So I don't know. At one point we had like a folded up pillow under her and like a Mega Buddy like cup behind her, and then she could like reach the pedals, and the pedals move, so that's nice.
Yeah.
And see out the steering or out the dash.
Shout
and
out to
everything,
Quick
so.
Trip for the Mega Buddy.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think I sat in your car last year to see how well I fit. I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure I did, and I was like, oh fucking A, this works.
Yeah, right. With the drop seat, it like fixes everything, man.
And then I think I sat in someone's Gen 5 that had a drop seat too. I'm like, all right, my dreams aren't dead.
Yeah.
Because like especially like with a helmet, like you don't have to
Yeah.
worry about a helmet because it's convertible. But
Well, I run only with the top up, basically.
oh really?
Yeah, I fit with a helmet.
Okay. That's the other thing. I don't fit in into a Performante or whatever, but I can fit in like a normal Huracan.
Yeah.
Same thing applies. Like I've heard a lot of like taller guys they can't fit in a convertible Huracan either.
No, or same with the Gallardo. I was in Jesse Lawrence's Turbo Gallardo,
Yeah.
and I was like crunched up, like as crunched as I could be, like knees, on the windshield and the dash, and like my head like just making a tent, in the soft top. It was so uncomfortable. That car was fun though.
It was. It's a bummer that he got rid of that one.
Yeah.
I miss his GT3 RS. That thing was
Yeah.
cool with the wasted management
Yeah.
livery.
That was like one of the coolest liveries I've ever seen. I was fangirling over that really hard.
What was another one of your favorite liveries? Because you guys
man.
did so much cool stuff.
Like everything that Andrew Nyberg designed from Ruthless is just top tier.
Okay.
I don't know. The Ford GT with like the America, that was really cool. Yeah.
I really want to shoot that car. That'd be cool.
Yeah. Yeah, the wasted management car was probably my number one actually.
His
Yeah, so-
Dogecoin rap was cool too, though.
Oh my god. That was really fun. Yeah. There's just so many good ones, man.
Yeah.
I can't even pick them.
There's just so many. I mean, like Paul had a bunch of cool ones. Like,
Oh, yeah.
It's like there's just so many. You can't.
Kelly's like Fig Newton that he
Yeah.
couldn't see out of.
Dude, I was with him on Tail of the Dragon with the Fig Newton sticker on there.
I was laughing so hard. It's like, how do you even see out of that car?
It was surprisingly visible.
Yeah, kind of.
Well, the way he explained to me is like, well, on Tail of the Dragon, it was actually easier to drive because like that was like outside of the sticker, and it's like you're only turning right or left.
Yeah, as long as you don't go straight, you can see.
Well, it's kind of like Formula One cars. Like they have that beam in front of them. It's
Yeah.
like, well, you're never looking straight.
That's fair.
Hopefully.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a really fun year. Tail of the Dragon was cool the first time, and then yeah, you guys did Pikes Peak. What's it called? What, once or twice? I think for West.
Yeah, I think twice, but I actually couldn't make one of them. But I took the Viper on it once, Talked with Aaron beforehand, and I was like, I know we're going up into some altitude. I know the Motech doesn't have like a baro ref sensor, so it's gonna run pretty rich. I take an extra set of plugs. Like, should I just not do this? What's gonna happen, right? He's like, definitely take a set of plugs. You're gonna go through a lot of fuel, but he's like, it'll probably be all right. So did it. Pikes Peak says to make sure you have half a tank of fuel in your car. So I had like 10 gallons, a little over 10 gallons in the car, and went up Pikes Peak, and like toward the top, you could tell where the Motech like was refusing to pull any more fuel, and it just started running richer and richer and richer. And there were like rainbow clouds like coming out of the exhaust, like swirling that were like catching the sun. It was actually beautiful. And the car was making like 9 horsepower by the top, and so made it to the top. It's like fantastic, and turn around, and I run out of fuel on the way down.
Yeah, but at least on the way down, right?
At least it's on the way down.
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
But there's not like there's a gas station at the bottom, so
right.
Yeah, no, I've been there. We waited 4 hours for a tow truck on Venom rally, so that was fun.
Fortunately, MJ and Javi just rolled up like an hour and a half later with a gas can, so I was able to hypermile it, making 4 mpg to the gas station where we could fill up. But yeah, I burned 10 gallons of gas, over 10 gallons of gas in 16 miles.
And you said that was an E85, or no?
I think at that point it still was.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about Texas 2K? I know you went down there a handful of times. Did you do a lot of?
That was a blast.
How many times have you been down there?
I've only been down there once in 2021.
Okay.
We towed the Viper down on my buddy's like homemade trailer that weighs like 3,000 pounds for just the trailer, even though it's an open trailer. I don't know. Nothing makes sense. But it was like kind of at the limit of what the Cayenne could tow. And the brake controller wasn't working for some reason, but whatever. The Cayenne has big brakes. It was fine. But so we pulled it down with the Cayenne. I honestly didn't really think the Cayenne was going to make it, but it did. And got down there, had some really good racing. Went out with more cars than I've ever seen in one place before. All like organized racing at night. It was so fun. There were no idiots. It was so refreshing to just be out. Everybody knew what to do. There was like ethanol fuel trucks coming along with us. It was the most like legitimate illegal thing ever. I loved
great way
it.
of putting it.
I loved it.
Yeah.
Well, you were probably part of like the fast groups too. Like you weren't like at the general meets as much, I'm guessing.
Right.
So
I was trying to be with some of the faster guys. Yeah.
Right.
First guy I ran was I think like a single 88 on a S550 Mustang, and I don't know if it was a 10 speed or not. But I ran him on the highway like in the evening, like just getting out before we were even like doing anything. Just saw Mustang with a hood dump and was like, "Oh, come here," and ran him, and it was like really close, and I pulled away in fourth. And I ended up finding the guy later on at a meet and asked him some questions. I was like, "This thing is like incredibly fast. How much power does it make?" He's like, "I have no idea. We just bolted this shit together. I don't know. It feels pretty quick." Yeah, it was.
Fucking Mustang guys.
It was on a big tire too. It was like a pretty serious looking car.
Yeah.
Yeah. I won pretty much everything I ran.
What were some other fun races you did down there?
Well, there's a guy in a AMG GTS that lined up, jumped the hit, ran for about 50 feet. I didn't even get turbo spooled, and then he let off, and then told people that he won. So that was pretty cool. I had a 50-foot roll race. No, that was the worst one. I ran a Hellcat Challenger that was talking a bunch of shit. I have a video of that one somewhere.
Okay.
That was like he got bus length. It wasn't even like I had Mark's girlfriend in the car, and she was like recording, and she was like, "Oh, I don't think he left." And we ran again, and I was like, "No, he left." That was a really funny one. It was like it was a Hellcat with like this giant like Predator logo or whatever on the side. I don't even know what it's called. Whatever the thing that they always put on the side of the Hellcats. It had a big one of those. The like Hellcat logo.
Was it the Hellcat logo or like something similar? I don't know.
Fuck, I don't
Who
know.
cares? I don't know. You didn't see
the kitten, the little kitten.
Yeah, the Hell Kitten. I don't know. That was a good one. I don't know. I wasn't like really like in the really fast group because like I didn't really know anybody.
Yeah.
thankfully Chris O'Regan like took me under his wing because he actually knows what the fuck he's doing, and I'm just down there like being an idiot, not knowing anything. So I went out with him and got some good racing in.
Yeah, we went down with Caleb this year. Thank God we had him because he really was able to direct us. Like I went to my first ever cash days. That was kind of cool.
Sick.
Because like I've never done anything like up here. But for whatever reason, when I go to another state, it's like, fuck it, let's do it.
Then you see all the people that also live here down there, and then we do stuff.
Dude, we ran into Trey downstairs over at Cash Days. Like he's like, I just flew in an hour ago. Immediately came to the Cash Days. Yeah, that was a little much though. There was way too many people there.
Really?
Yeah.
So during the weekdays, we went to a couple, and it was pretty mild. It was good. It was a good time. But yeah, when it got to be Friday, Saturday night, it was
too
rough.
many people.
Yeah.
Like it was like
down there especially, like holy crap.
It was like borderline unsafe at that point with how many people. Because people were like, from what I heard, is like they were just like a few hundred feet out from the starting line and still crowding.
Oh shit! So if anyone lost it, it's like bad.
Absolutely.
News. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Good.
Yeah.
Freaking 3,000-pound missile just coming right at you.
Yeah. Or in the case of a Hellcat, an 8,900-pound missile.
Yeah.
Like Kyle Loftus like posted about this because a lot of people were bitching about Texas 2K being dead in Dallas, and he's like, no, it was dead in like 2017 when all the stupid people started coming out.
Yeah, like me.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm sorry,
he knows
Kyle.
his audience. It was pretty cool. It was awesome to attend that stuff for the first time. But the rain really ruined a lot of things for us. I don't know if it rained the year you went, but
no, it was really good in 21.
Rub it in.
I'm sorry. Yeah, a lot of people didn't get to make the passes they wanted this year. I was following it. Had huge FOMO not being down there.
Yeah,
but Nth Moto did insane. Like
they did well. Well,
yeah.
it's like the post that Aaron posted today. It's like
yeah.
There's good and I don't want to say bad, but it's like could have done better or whatever. Like he posted about that.
Right,
Like he's
right.
like, because like every time you go there, like your aspirations are to win, but like when you look at like the numbers and everything, it's like, dude, they crushed it.
Yeah.
Like they did very well.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, I really would have loved to see Billy's GTR run again.
Yeah.
That thing is fucking cool.
Yep. Man, I don't know. GTRs don't really do it for me. They're really, really cool, and his is really like top tier cool for GTRs. But I just really like that a 2-wheel drive car is able to keep up.
That's the coolest thing, I
Yeah.
think. Just the fact that, I mean, he did 225.
Yeah.
Billy did 236, but I think he started earlier. You know how these things go at roll racing.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm the only one that follows the fucking rules,
Yeah.
man. Even up at like BIR, cars jump or whatever, and they call it if it's like egregious, but I don't know. If you say go 40, I go 40 and I push the button and it holds it at 40.
Yeah, yep.
Do the same thing.
Yeah, anti-lag's the funnest thing. It was, like I said, like before we started this episode, like it was so funny when you showed up to Jeff Storm's house and just two-stepped, woke up the entire neighborhood.
I'm here, everybody. Yeah. Well, there was like a big conversation back and forth between me and Aaron. And, he's like, well, you have to like be judicious. Don't just push the button all the time. And I was like, if you're going to give me a button, I'm going to push the button all the time. So like, try to make it not break, I guess. I did burn all the exhaust valves on motor number 3. And,
I'm sorry, number 3. How many motors have you been through?
yeah, well, it wasn't like it was just a like top end rebuild. So it wasn't really, I'm just being dramatic, honestly. But,
Sure.
A couple
I'm on
motors.
motor number 3.
The first motor that was built was not balanced correctly. Mm-hmm. And I just figured it was something that I did wrong. So, whatever. But, when Aaron pulled it apart, he messaged me and he's like, this motor was like not balanced. And I was like, oh, is that why it's like rattling bolts out of everywhere at 2,200 RPM? And he's like, yeah. So I got the motor back, and we got the car back once Nth Moto had like redone everything, and it was so smooth. It's like, oh my God, it's a Cadillac. Just because it wasn't like shaking itself to bits, I was like, I had no idea. Just felt like, yeah, there's a lot of vibration, but there always is in a Viper, right? Especially a pre-Gen 5. So
Yeah, you just kind of expect it. Like, all right, it's an old sports car. It quirks and features.
Yeah, more power, more rattles, like Harleys, right? I don't know. We shouldn't even get into Harleys. Let's not talk about that.
Why are we not talking about Harleys?
Harleys are fucking stupid, man.
They are. That's how I always started riding. I still have Harleys, but if I could go back, like It's like the worst running bike in the world. It's mine spits oil out the fucking carburetor all the time. I'm like, my God, man. I see guys on Victories and they look pretty cool and they run all the time. And I'm
Yeah,
like,
right.
man,
You
that
just
looks
can't find
good.
parts for them.
Yeah,
now,
that's true.
Which is sad, but I think Victories do look really cool.
Yeah.
And they're all named after like drugs, like the
Yeah, right.
8 ball and like what the fuck. They're pretty cool.
Yeah.
Which brings us to our next segment: drugs. No.
Drugs.
Dude, imagine I make a highlight of those, you guys talking shit about Harleys. I guarantee you, like, it would be the craziest comment
I'm
section.
gonna fight people in the comments for sure.
I don't know if I want to do that.
I ride Harleys and they run like shit. So like, come on, like you're a Harley rider for real. Like it, you know it.
Yeah,
Relax.
I mean they look pretty cool.
Yeah.
They they have their like community, right? The community is very tight knit.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's pretty sick. I remember riding a Sportster 883, and I think the thing had 700 or 800 miles on it. And I was like cruising. We swapped my sport bike for this person's Harley.
Yep.
And I rode it for like 3 blocks, and then it like died, and I couldn't get it to restart. And it like didn't even have 800 miles on it yet. Man.
Yeah. They're like iPhones, right? They're inferior in every way, but for some reason everybody loves them. I don't know, understand.
There's another hot take that I completely agree with.
Yeah. Everybody goes for the masses.
Yep.
Hey, that's fine. I've done both.
Yeah, so have I.
Yeah, you're an Android guy, right?
I am.
Yeah.
OnePlus for life, baby.
Jeez, hold on. Hold that up again.
Yeah.
That's a lot of stuff on the back.
These are the best phones, man. They just prioritize speed and
Wait,
smoothness.
OnePlus, is
Yeah.
that the Chinese one?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so is that like a newer phone?
Yeah.
Like, because wasn't there an issue of them coming into the States, or am I thinking of something else?
There was.
And it's
now
good
they're
now?
like carrier. They're like
Really?
T-Mobile carrier US and everything. Yeah.
Because remember when they were first trying to get that stateside, like they were like, "This is the best phone ever," and I was looking at the stats. I'm like, "Wow, suck it, iPhone, suck it, Android, or whatever."
Yeah,
like all these
yeah.
other companies.
Yeah, Samsung, everybody else. Yeah.
Yeah, and I was just like, "Huh," and then apparently it just got shut down or whatever. So that's cool. I didn't know that they are stateside now.
Yeah, and they're really good.
Okay.
I'm a phone zealot, I guess.
Well, it's like, dude, it's just a cult. No matter which
Yeah.
side you join.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm just in this one rather than another one.
I'm just in the best one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, everybody that's in a cult thinks that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, otherwise you wouldn't be in a cult.
Yeah, exactly.
A lot of people follow David Koresh into some weird shit, so you know.
So between what's your preferred, I guess, activity? Like, are you more of a road course guy, more of a roll race kind of guy, like power cruise style events? Like, where do you stand?
I like doing a little bit of everything and being a little bit bad at everything.
Okay, mission accomplished.
So I do the most autocross, but I used to do a lot of track days in the Viper when it was NA, and now I feel like the car is fast enough where maybe it's outpaced me as a driver, and I'm just a little scared of it on a road course because like the road course is like really where that car shines and what it's good at, but it's a hell of a lot easier to drive a 450 wheel Viper than it is making anything over 600, right? That's like the next level of driver. If you can road race a car or like even do like HPDE days in a car making over 600 wheel, then you're very good. And not die, then you're very good.
The not die part is pretty important.
Yeah. Also kind of implied, right? You can't really do it again. So yeah, so I stopped doing road course stuff, although I love it. And that's like that's where the adrenaline happens for me. But I don't know, the car's kind of built to be okay at everything, right? So if I were a better driver from a dig, it'd be okay from a dig. You know, nothing great. It's on 19s, right? But yeah, I can do that. It's great at autocross. If I were a better driver, it would place well in autocross, as evidenced by when other people drive it and absolutely smoke my time, and it's the first time they've ever driven my car. Yeah, it's just kind of.
So you've
I don't know, I like doing
autocrossed that
everything.
car with the turbo setup?
Yeah, every proving grounds I
Okay.
autocross it Friday, Saturday.
You don't even go into boost, do you?
Yeah, at the end there's like a really scary second where whoever's riding with me screams right before the like finish line or whatever. Yep. So 1 second. There's 1 second of boost.
1 second of boost.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, I'm excited. I might go to Proving Grounds this year. I've never been to a power cruise.
It's during the rally, the first one.
Well, there's a second one too, right?
But yes, in September.
yeah.
Yeah, you should come. I'll give you a ride along in autocross. It'll be fun.
That would be route. Yeah, I'll scream. We'll make it happen.
Hell yeah. Good, you have to.
Yeah.
It's tradition at this
That was my first ride with Minneapolis Mopar. He's like, "Don't scream." It was either to me or my brother, but he's like, don't scream. I'm like, okay. I won't. Why should I?
Yeah. Now I'm nervous. Now I'm gonna scream.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't wait till Caleb's Corvette's done because that thing is, should be making, 1,000 wheel and it's supercharged, so it's instant.
Yeah.
It's weird, man, how different cars, like the power comes on differently. Like,
Yeah. My car, the power comes on so lazily if you don't use anti-lag. It's like you hit it and it's like, oh, this car's pretty quick, and then over the span of a couple seconds, it gets very much louder and then it starts actually accelerating. But yeah, it leaves really soft if you're not on anti-lag, which a lot of this is like Aaron trying to not let me be able to brake the car. So yeah, I understand that it's very much, it could be way faster, but I would brake it a lot.
yeah, that's something that you kind of notice too, is like with some of those builds, like you want people to get used to it first and then ramp it up and then ramp it up. And then eventually things start breaking.
Yeah, right. Yep.
But it's been pretty much running mint with the twin turbo setup, I'm guessing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no issues. Currently, the suspension's apart. I'm finally lowering it. So
Okay.
everybody that call my car monster truck every time I go anywhere.
So was it on stock suspension this whole time?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah, the stock suspension is pretty good, man.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm just going with a cheaper set of BC Racing BR Series coilovers.
Okay.
And I don't know, they look to be quite good quality. They're not like a attractive DSE $10,000 set or anything, but
Right.
whatever, man. Viper shit's too expensive.
Yeah.
It's constantly never ending. Like we were talking about like Olin's on here at some point too.
Yeah,
It's like that we're like in the Ford GTs. It's like, oh my God, I can't even imagine how much that is.
for real. And I drove Travis's car. His Gen 3 Viper
Yeah.
was on BC Racing coilovers, and it rode better than mine and handled better than mine. So
I had them on my 2015. They were great, but
Nice.
I had my one rear shock blew out
okay,
at some point. Of course, like a month after the return, the
Of
warranty
course.
period. So
of course.
yeah, now it's got Vikings on it, so
Okay,
which they're great.
nice.
I don't know if you could tell. This is my first day not drinking caffeine in like 2 years. So it's like I don't know if I'm
Really?
yeah, dude. I'm like I don't know if you just saw me hide a yawn. I'm like, oh man, like,
Is Dan talking about his Mustang again? Oh,
here we go with the fucking Ford again. So
Dang.
what's
Okay.
next for you? Do you
For cars?
Yeah. Do you have any intentions? Are you just gonna ride this thing into the dust, or
Well, I don't think I can sell it at this point.
you will never sell that thing?
Probably not.
Good
So,
luck.
I'll probably have this and something else. I was looking seriously at an AMG GTS.
Okay.
I drove one. They're really comfortable. They're kind of cool. They kind of have the Viper proportions.
Yeah, my pops has a GTR, so
Oh, sick.
Yeah, it's
Nice.
the German Viper.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
They sound good. So that's tempting. I don't know if I could live without a manual, but they are a good DCT. I think they share a DCT with the Ferrari 458.
That's what I heard. So funny enough, you mentioned that. I was actually going through my highlights with Dave Rasmussen today, and he's like, "Yeah, it shares the DCT with the 458 and apparently the GT 500." They
Yeah.
share some
Okay. Yeah. I
similarities.
remember it being something completely wild that it shared with. Yeah.
it's not. It bridges the gap between an automatic and a manual, I think.
Yeah.
So I have a new GT 500, and I was worried about the same thing. I was like, man, all my cars have always been manuals. Like
Yeah.
that's how I drive. It's pretty impressive though what it can do.
That transmission, the 458 has the best DCT of any car in existence, as far as I'm concerned. It's so good, and yeah. So that means it would probably be reasonable, right? Especially if I had like a manual winter car or something. Also,
And there are days where you're like, I'm like rallying, especially. I'm like, man, if I have to shift this fucking car one more time, I'm gonna blow my brains out. And then you hop in. It's nice in the Mustang because I can set the fucking cruise. I can
Yeah.
go. I don't have to worry about shifting. It's kind of nice. But
yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Pathetic automatic scum.
yep,
It's really enjoyable.
it's fine.
Don't you have a Honda Fit too?
I had two Honda Insights,
Insights.
which are fantastic cars. I still have one. It doesn't have a drivetrain. Someday, my ZX14 donor bike that drivetrain will go in the back. Someday that will happen. Project's been on hold forever because I've been working on my house and trying to
Boring.
Yeah, very boring things. Sadly, someday.
What age does that happen? The whole house thing project.
I'm trying to get the house done this year.
Yeah,
It would be great if I could really dig into the Insight project.
that'd be cool.
next year. But I don't know.
Very
There's a
unique.
lot of things ahead of that. So
Yeah, no, that's the thing. It's like it's never ending with projects, especially like if you're trying to do it yourself.
yeah,
And then have somebody else
yeah,
fix
and
it
I
after.
don't want anyone else to do anything. Like I kind of took the safe route and went to Nth Moto to like do the Viper, right? And I just feel guilty about that. I mean, Aaron is amazing, right? He's a genius, and it's the only reason I've still own the car and it works, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I want to do something myself.
Right.
So yeah, and
Well, that
that's-
makes sense.
Yeah, that's probably what's next for me. I don't know, man. Like, I was like toying with a bunch of like wild ideas, like a Superlight SLC or like a
Okay.
Factory 5 818. I'm just all over the place, or a Gen 5 because they're coming down in value now. They're
Yeah.
reasonable. You can find them under 100 Gs for higher mileage. 2013. 14.
Yeah, I wouldn't buy it from that person, but
Yeah. Yeah. But they're coming
close.
down. Yep.
It's reasonable.
Yep.
Like I just posted on my story yesterday. Like somebody was like, "Oh, what's next?" And I'm like, "Oh man, those Gen 5s, like they're like it's within grasp within the next few years.
Yeah.
Like it's getting really close.
Yeah.
Whereas back when I was like, what they were up in the 140, 150s for a GTS, weren't they?
Oh yeah.
Close to it.
Oh yeah. Above that.
Yeah. So it's like, and ACRs aren't even a question.
No, that's like actual rich people.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a bank loan.
Yeah.
But no, I'd love to see you in a Gen 5. It's just it's cool. Like when Travis upgraded to a Gen 5, I was like, yes. He's like, oh, it's fucking red though.
Yeah.
Like I love it. I would get it in red in a heartbeat. But he's like, man, another red Viper.
Yeah. I know. People need to make more purple cars.
Okay. Yeah, Striker Purple would not be
Striker
worth as
Purple's
much.
Gorgeous, man.
It's crazy what that car fetches, or what they're
Yeah,
asking
Matt
for.
McCarran had at one at least.
Yeah.
It was like 1 of 5.
All I can think of is my mom's PT Cruiser that she had. It was
Oh
purple.
yeah,
Called
the
it
PT
the eggplant.
Bruiser.
Yeah.
Love it.
They had they had that at I'm assuming you're old like me. You remember Circuit City in
Oh, yeah.
Woodbury? There, they had a PT Bruiser in there in the audio department there in the car audio thing. It had like a
Love
bunch of
that.
subs in the back of it. It was pretty cool. PT Bruiser.
That's awesome. Buddy of mine has like a big turbo PT Cruiser.
Does he?
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know. If you met him,
Locally or
it
what?
would make sense. It's just like, oh yeah, that guy would have a big turbo PT Cruiser. No, he's a good guy.
Is it local here?
Yeah.
Really? Okay, that's really cool.
Yeah.
Well, it's like, dude, the amount of times I think of like ridiculous builds like that. Like if I had the money
Oh,
or the
yeah.
know-how, or better yet, both, I would do some ridiculous things like that.
Same. Like, everybody's talking about like, oh, I would buy this Halo car or whatever if I was rich. Dude, I would have like 70 shit boxes with the wrong motors in them and just this giant warehouse full of cars that, when I eventually die and somebody goes to like sell my car collection, they'll be like, what the absolute fuck is this? I would have like motorcycle swapped AutoZam AZ1s and like a ZX14 swapped Honda Beat and I don't know, like a Honda S660, that's in Japan, the other little like K car roadster thing, and just all these like little weird things. I would just have 1,000 of them.
Have you been to Japan?
No, but I want to.
Have you traveled anywhere like crazy like that or not really?
So I used to fly to Poland for work to do
Okay.
like training and stuff, and so I just kind of make a trip out of it. So in the fall, I took Nicole out to Scotland. We did like a distillery tour, and that was her first time out of the continent, at least. And she likes Scotch now, so ultimate win for me. But yeah, mostly like Europe, around in Europe.
Okay. You a big cigar guy or not really?
So there was a time when I was pretending to be.
Okay, that's where I'm at.
Yeah. So like, back in like the OG M&E&S days, the Minnesota Exotics days, there were a bunch of like cigar aficionados.
Oh, yeah.
In
I
that
know 'em.
group. Yeah. And so I enjoyed some cigars, but it was more just hanging out with cool people.
That's usually what it comes down to. Like I don't think like I'll go and do one on like by myself. Like
Right.
read a newspaper or some shit. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not quite there yet.
Yeah.
I can enjoy a good one. Like, like me and my old co-host Sean, like we would go, watch whatever YouTube videos after our podcast, light up a cigar.
Nice.
I'll never do it by myself.
No.
I'm not quite that passionate about
Yeah,
it.
I agree. I like the short ones because then you don't have to be out in the cold for an hour and a half.
Yeah, no, we were coming back from Texas 2K last year. We had like all these like awesome ones. He's like, we wanted to at least get one like on this trip or whatever. It's like fucking 20 degrees outside. We're doing it outside of a hotel like psychos.
Yeah.
And then like it got to the point where it was like too cold. We're just like,
Like, you know what? Yeah.
yeah, I tried like a $20 one. I was like, well, there goes $20.
Yeah.
Because those are pretty meh one too.
I just really like the nub Maduro or the nub cappuccino one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Huh.
They're nice and short.
Okay.
Not a big commitment.
No, it's so much fun. Like I get, like, especially if I don't do it frequently enough, I get like, what is it, like the nicotine buzz or
Yeah, you
whatever.
just get like super dizzy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could stand up out of the chair, fall over.
Yeah.
I think you should just cut them open and put something else inside them, but that's fine.
It would have to be much smaller.
Yeah.
Or else I would lose my last brain cell.
Which brings us to our next topic, college stories.
I don't remember. Next question.
Next question, move on. Yeah, statute of limitations, we're good.
Yeah.
No, I mean, we could pop the usual 3 here, but I just feel like, because there was a lot of people stoked to have you on here. Is there any story any rabbit hole I didn't go down that I may have missed?
Oh my God. I honestly thought I was going to prep talking points, and then I was like, no, I'm being way too neurotic. I'm just going to not think about anything at all. So that's what I did.
You're doing the not thinking about it. The not thinking part. You're nailing it.
Thank you.
When did you actually so did you part ways with Crown before? When did that all go down, and how did that go down?
Yeah, it was very amicable. We basically just decided someone that was in my position needs to be their career, their full-time position. And I was still, working on my day job career as a software engineer / software architect. And yeah, we just both decided that it couldn't be me. So I'm still really good friends with Justin. We still talk all the time. Not to mention any names or say any specifics, but Crown is coming back.
Okay.
We've heard rumblings.
There are rumblings.
Yeah.
The rumors are maybe true, depending on the rumor.
Okay.
I completely forgot what train of thought.
No.
no.
I think that's a fair train of thought to continue. I mean, is it going to be on the same scale?
No, it'll
Smaller.
be tighter knit. Yeah.
So kind of like Corsa size, like 25 cars sort of deal?
I can't say anymore.
Okay.
Justin's already probably getting nervous.
Okay.
Yeah, some quantum mechanics happening.
You felt the disturbance. Well, I mean, let's be honest. I think we all kind of knew at some point it was going to come back in a different form.
Yeah.
Whatever that may be, we'll find out.
Yeah.
But it's still when I went on 8 and I got to ride, as an 18-year-old at that time who really did not have... Yeah, I'll keep hitting that home.
Oh, my God. This is just a constant barrage of I'm old.
It's okay. You got the spirit of youth. Yeah, you're good.
Thank you. 29 going on 40.
Okay.
I knew when you brought up the 486 chip that I knew.
I already dated myself.
Yeah, so we were running the same category. Don't worry. Yeah.
Is that the first iPhone?
No. When I first started playing with PCs and building them, that's what we were putting in them. So
Same.
Yeah. I remember when we went from a 386 to a 486, that was a big deal.
Oh yeah.
When
Math
hard drives
processor,
were a gig, was oh man.
Oh yeah. Oh yes.
But it's that wasn't just a jab, but no, that was kind of in my I had no real direction in my life. I think it was my first year doing photography or whatever, and I just ended up on the rally because some $100 photographers couldn't make it.
Yeah.
That year, I want to say it was Bellis, might have been somebody else. I don't know, but nonetheless, I took a spot. It's cool. I get to get $300 and go across the country.
Yeah.
Whereas other photographers be $300. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Yeah. But I was stoked, right? And I rode with Kelly for a good portion of it. I ended up with Mark in the CTSV.
Nice.
And then we were at a gas station, and just some light bulb went off in my head. It's I'm just gonna ask the Savage Garage guys if I can ride with them to the next stop. It's what's the worst they can say is no.
Right.
And I ended up in the Urus with Randy at the time, and
Nice.
then the SVJ pulls around. He's like, I think you'd have more fun in that. So I don't know if that was his way of saying get the fuck out, or if that was his way of saying yeah, you're gonna have a blast, which I did.
Well, both.
I ended up both. But I ended up in that car for 4 hours in the Smoky Mountains.
Yeah.
And that was before it was straight piped, but it was still insane. We did a dig race at a stoplight with that and a Urus.
Oh hell yeah.
Yeah,
they were just fucking around the whole rally. Love it.
Well, you need that sort of energy, just the fun energy. It's a good mixture of fun and. Really, you have to be there to have fun. I've always had a competitive element to my rallies.
Sure.
Just kind of slow people down, or just kind of something to work towards, a trophy. that bonding. But you know, you need a little bit of that messing around aspect.
Oh,
you
yeah.
guys set the bar. So like when we talk rallies and we plan rallies, we're doing this stuff. Like Crown is the one we're always aiming for.
I love hearing that.
Yeah, it's great. It any rally conversation, it gets brought up 100% of the time. So
I love that. We tried really hard to make Crown not like an offshoot of Gold Rush, but like its own
Killed it, by the way.
thing. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Because that's what I've heard about Gold Rush is like it's just highways and driving fast and that's it.
And there's some ego involved, and there's some cool media that comes out of it. And I'm not trying to trash the rally because like some of the Crown guys, also do Gold Rush, and it's just a different kind of rally, right?
Yeah, you have to choose your poison. Like I've always said that. Like even like the tier below, which was like Venom and G-Force. It's like they were similar but not really. Like just different audiences.
Yeah.
And same thing like now with Carmunity. It's like still a different audience. Like we're not gunning to be the next Gold Rush. Like we like this little price point. That mid 2000s. You still get to feel like a VIP without paying and
$20K for a seat.
Right. But then some people have even said that about Crown. It's like, it's like, $7,000 a ticket. I'm like, yeah, but it's fucking worth it. Like,
and it's like a week, because we kept kind of expanding and costs
the night
for more days.
The 2 nights in Asheville sounded like the coolest thing ever. I heard amazing remarks on that. It's like, all right, we're going to stay 2 nights in one city. So that was really, I want to do that at some point.
I wish we had done more of that where they're like, that's actually one thing I really like about the Polar Run that Haley does is we do like a day of rallying and then we just have a day where we're not driving.
Yeah.
And it's like kind of antithetical to like the point of a rally, but it's like also it's like about community. So I don't know. I wish we had done a little more of that.
Were you on this last Polar?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's one I've been trying to do, and I have something every time it lands on a date that I've got something else going on, really, but I want to check it out.
The last one was pretty fun. The one last year was really fun. We took my Cayenne, and again, it didn't break. I don't know how, like, it never breaks when I'm beating the absolute fuck out of it. But, like, if I want to go to the grocery store, absolutely fucking not. So I actually sold that to a friend now who is well aware of its
Past
history.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you done any fun things with the Cayenne?
I don't know. Went like 150 in it. And
sketch.
Extremely sketch. Some guy in Russia just turned the boost all the way up and did 191 in my exact car. What? Dude, that is so unsafe. Holy fuck.
Body panels just start flying off.
Yeah, like the gallons of water that it retains inside the body panels might actually come out then,
Is that a known thing?
Yeah, it's like a known thing on the Gen 1 Touareg and the Gen 1 Cayenne is they just hold like many gallons of water inside them. And like the symptom is you can hear sloshing while you're driving.
Yeah.
And then you pull this like plug and just so much water comes out.
It's just like bad seals or what is it?
I'm not exactly sure.
On the expeditions, they have that problem. I had that there. It's the dew wipes on the window. The water leaks inside the doors and it sloshes around in the door.
Yeah, that's probably the same sort of deal with the Cayenne. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, pulled the Viper to Texas and back. Did Polar Run. Drag raced on a frozen lake, drinking beers with it. That was fun, Just Polar Run shenanigans mostly.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Well, on that note, do you want to pop the usual 3?
Yeah. So at the end of every episode, we like to ask our guest to pick 3 cars.
Oh boy.
A daily driver, a track car, and a show car. You have an unlimited budget. Swaps are okay, which sounds like you're a fan of that. So whatever. What are you picking?
Damn. All right. I don't know. Like, I'm sure there's some niche knowledge about like multi-million-dollar cars that I just don't have because I don't even look at that sort of thing. So
Peasant.
yeah, I am like a peasant of the Viper community. Absolutely. I fully embrace that aspect. I would have an Escalade V as a daily.
Okay.
Out of like anything, like out of a Cullinan or whatever, I would have an Escalade V. A show car? I don't know, man. What do you do with the show car?
You could be something fun too. You could double up on the track car and call one a show car.
Yeah, you show the show car.
Yeah.
You could like resto mods. Some people do donks.
Ooh.
Get
Dang,
crazy.
there's so many. I don't know how I've like never even thought about this. I'm so unprepared for this.
You're good.
I would probably have. Honestly, like what I really want for a track car is a ZX14R swapped mid-mounted Insight. Like, I don't even want. I don't know. Like, I've just never had like $1 million to put into a track car, so I don't know. I just really want. Yeah, I really want a mid-engine Insight.
Okay, that's for the track car?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Autocross machine.
Yeah, right? It'd be sick. And then, what's the other one?
Show car.
Oh, Gen 5 Viper ACRE.
Okay. I like
There you
it.
go.
Yeah.
Would you do twins? Or would you keep
Yeah.
it like an NA build?
Yeah.
Yeah. I like it. That's got to be one of the more unique track cars we've had.
Yeah.
Well, it's just like, I don't know, man. Like, because, you know, if you had like a Koenigsegg and you put it into a wall, well, you're not going to get another one.
Sure you are.
Yeah.
Unlimited budget.
Like, forever? I don't know, man. That's too hard.
The Insight was that they were like the first like ever hybrid, right? I remember
Yeah.
them. Yeah. Okay.
Manual, hybrid.
Yeah. Isn't the rear wheel like half the body panel covers the
Yeah,
rear
they're
wheel
like
too?
covered.
Yeah.
The rear track is actually 4.3 inches narrower than the front track,
Oh,
which
really?
makes them really bad in the snow because the rear wheels, it'll try to pick a rut.
Oh my god.
They're hilarious little cars, man.
Yeah.
But the chassis is so good. Like, you'd think it'd be like a Prius and just be like boring, but they're like super fun to hoon even though they make 50 horsepower.
Yeah.
Well, when you said manual car for the winter, I'm like, I see where this is going. Like, I would never, but
What? You gotta have it. How are you gonna get unstuck? An auto just like take the shifter like back and forth?
It does for getting unstuck to be able to shift from reverse to first or second. Like
Yeah.
that I will give you that. That for sure helps. You can get a car rocking that way.
Yeah, exactly. That's
Yeah.
what I'm saying, man.
I've had plenty of like 4-wheel drive 5-speed Rangers when I was a kid growing up. That's what I drove.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You get it.
Yes, I do.
sorry, I just
You're
turned,
too fancy, man. You're
Yeah.
too fancy for me.
I just turned 6 like last week. Yeah.
Awesome.
Well, sweet. I don't know. Do you have any social media or anything where you want people to follow you?
I'm like really old, man.
Okay.
If you can get the
I pretty
I'm
much
gonna
just
stop.
post
Yellow
on
pages?
Facebook.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, find me on the yellow pages in the phone book. No,
I have a neighbor up north. I'm sorry, I gotta go on this tangent.
yeah.
Well, we have a cabin we bought up there, and the neighbor walked over to tell me, he's like, "Hey, if you ever need to get a hold of me, I'm in the phone book." And I'm like, "My God, man!" He gave me his full name, first and last, and told me his numbers in the phone book. I'm like, I don't even know where the fuck to find a phone
Dude, you gotta
book.
be like, you also have to give me a
Yeah,
phone
yeah,
book.
like, bring it over and highlight it, and then just give me that page. Actually, just write your number on it.
That's
was-
hilarious.
Yeah, I'm like,
man.
oh my God, man. But he's like 104. I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah. I feel that.
Yeah.
I remember phone books.
Yeah.
You know,
I was thinking I was gonna make that comment when you were talking about is it your girlfriend or your wife?
girlfriend. Yeah.
Girlfriend. When you were putting a pillow down, I was like, just grab a phone book.
Yeah,
Pillow
I
down
know.
there,
If we still had them, that's what they were good for.
Yeah. Yep.
But I actually bought her like a race seat insert for this year.
Oh really?
Yeah.
So she has a booster seat.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I bought her a booster seat.
Yeah.
But it's like, it's called like a racing seat insert, right?
Oh, okay.
But it's literally a booster seat.
Okay.
So she'll be a little more comfortable this year, maybe. Or maybe.
Yeah.
not.
Hopefully we see you at some more events. Like,
Yeah, I'm coming out to events this year for sure.
yeah. Should be a fun year. I think people are ramping up. Our scene's growing so quickly right now.
Yeah.
So it's
Hell
everybody's
yes.
coming back out, and then we'll wait to see some stuff on Crown. If you
Yeah.
guys want to wait till 2025, that'd be helpful.
Yeah.
Wait till I retire.
There will be an announcement in about a month.
Okay. Interesting. Okay. We'll keep our eyes out on that.
Yeah.
You can't tell us whether they're still gonna try and hit something this year.
No, stop it. These are off-camera conversations. This is the stuff that people are gonna message me about. So what did he tell you? I'll be like, nothing, man. Sorry.
I gotta say nothing. Respect Justin.
Yeah,
All right.
exactly. Yeah,
It'll all be coming out in the next like 3 weeks or a month.
Okay.
I'd love to have him on at some point too, but I figured, I've seen that he's just kind of
Yeah.
laying low snowboarding, so I'm just like, I won't bother him.
I have a conversation with him. I think he would be delighted to come.
Okay.
On. Yeah.
Cool.
So I think you should do that. I
Sweet.
said I'm glad I went first because I wouldn't want to follow Justin. So
Maybe we can be the official announcement.
I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
yeah, hit him up for sure.
Yeah. All right.
Sweet. And then Dan, where can people find you?
You can find us at Gunna Garage. There's been some Texas 2K content coming on there, but we might be back to snowmobile content here this week, so we'll see.
A little bit of everything.
Yeah, absolutely. If it burns gasoline, I'm all for it.
Hell
Sweet.
yeah.
That's Gunna Garage with 2 N's.
2 ends. Yep. Sorry.
The Don't worry about it.
Is this how you spell it anyway, right? I mean, technically, it'd be 2 words, technically. No.
Look it up in the Oxford. I don't care.
Yeah.
As for me, you guys we're 2 hours deep, or hour 58. We're gonna stretch this out for the next 120 seconds here. But you guys found me here. If you don't know where you're at, that's kind of on you. Thanks for coming on, Adam.
Yeah.
Thank you, Dan, for existing.
It was a blast.
And then, of course, thank you to our sponsors, Razorhood and Ratified, for putting us in your coat closet. It's always a good time to be over
Hell
here.
yeah. I like it in here.
Dude.
Yeah.
Everybody loves it. They're always shocked when they come here. It's like, I don't know. Like, what were your first thoughts when you came in here?
Well, I had actually never been to Ratified before, even though...
Yeah, I'll give you a walk around after
yeah,
this.
I've known Rat and Trey for a long time, from
Yeah.
Mankato days, right?
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I would love to see you walk around. But no, this is sick.
Yeah.
Gotta love the Huracan,
Yeah, that was so that was actually supposed to be so I don't know where it's at, but there is a full print somewhere in existence, which is even bigger than this. This is just kind of like a misprint, like the colors were off or something like that. So I took it off my guy who works over at Tin Pros. So
Sick.
and then it's been sitting in a closet for like half a year, and I had nothing to do with it. And then when I got this space, I'm like, well, there's a stupid window behind back here, so it just kills all the lighting. So I'm
Yeah.
like, I'll cover it up. But yeah, it's vinyl. I just don't have it peeled off the backing.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I want to reach out to Triet. I want to see if there'd be any interest in them putting like more of these like in the back, like my photos, right?
Yeah.
So I'd peel the curtains aside and then put like the DTF would be in there for sure.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
When you said I didn't put 2 and 2 together, but when you said Valley Fair shoot, I remember seeing those pictures, and those are freaking badass.
They turned out so good,
Yeah.
man. You did a great job.
That was fun.
And Epic Wraps did a really good job on the wrap.
Yeah. Yeah.
Holy crap, man. Tanner was busting his ass because I originally had chosen like the world's worst vinyl to try to do
I
something
remember this.
cool. Yeah, I think I showed you some photos and it looked sick in photos, but there was no way to apply it on a car as curvy as a Viper. And so we got a little bit of it done and had to change directions, and they fortunately found this vinyl for me. So
Which it looks amazing, and turned out I'm happy I was able to capture it in photos. Which, by the way, everybody, I still shoot photos. Pay me.
nice, good plug.
That's a good plug. And
Sold.
on that note, I hit the 2-hour mark. We're gonna call it there. Thanks for watching. Thanks for existing, Dan, and we'll see y'all next time. Let's get some tacos.
Hell yeah.